I haven't left them to be looked at adorning on the bust. I've thought, yeah, come on, I want to wear. And this is one of the amazing pieces that you could be inspired to make today. Oh yes. Oh, and sorry, did you notice that gorgeous centerpiece ring? This could be inspiring you as well today, because this is one of our amazing pieces. Later on we will be introducing this to you. And if you're looking at the gemstones thinking, what is that? Oh yes, I'm talking green apatite today. For me, this is borderline towards your Mandrera, which is incredibly rare to get hold of. So we've got that coming up in a kit. In a kit. I mean, we're just dropping that into a kit.
I know.
Amazing.
It's a bit special, isn't it?
Not just a bit special. In fact, yesterday, I have to say, when I had the thought process of thinking that we had the likelihood of Mandrera green apatite, I did do a little squeal. Just a little squeal. I couldn't keep it in. Oh, just like that. We have loads to look forward to today, and we're getting started this morning, as only we know how, with an extra special deal. Not just one, not just two, not just three, not just four, but 4 feature chains. And when you look at these ball chains, for me, they are just contemporary with a real twist of classic.
I'd love that, and I also think they cross over as well, so you can be, have unisex jewellery. I think, they're because of that fluidity, that movement that is so different to other chains, isn't it? So yeah, it's brilliant, and you don't see it that often either. So
I love the finish of the quality of the colouring as well. Yeah, it's on that cusp of copper to rose gold. It has got that little sheen to it. That gives it that luxury feel about it. You've got 5 lots of this chain. In terms of length, 1 metre each, so you've got 5 metres, and that's going to go a long, long way. Especially if you're using these as connector chains. You can use these great for adding a bit of length to what is already a great piece of jewellery, giving it the opportunity to perhaps make it into an extend chain, adding length, dropping length whenever the requirement of different necklines. You have here a full metre each. Ching! 5 metres. As I say, it's going to go a long, long way. And even if you're into like multi-wrapping necklaces, at the moment, I've kind of gone into this phase where I don't just wear one necklace. I quite like the idea of layering necklace.
Yeah. Big. Layering and stacking is very, very big, isn't it?
Massive.
Very big. Yeah.
I mean, when you look at the celebrities, glossy magazines and things, you're not seeing a single celebrity wearing just one iconic piece of jewellery. They're wearing several pieces, layering, and actually this would be a great way to layer and have a nice multiple necklace length with all 5 metres. Start with a lariat, go to the midriff with one length and then start working it up, go to opera, then go up to your, perhaps your 17, 18 inch, your classic necklace, even then heading towards a choker line. You could do that kind of grading in all of this chain. And the amazing thing is, if you did that one big look, it's not going to cost you a fortune, because you're getting all 5 metres for a rock bottom price of $6.95. Now that's the price it should be. But it's not the price you pay, and I did say Friday Frenzy, and we are waking up the jewellery maker world today by dropping the price even lower, $4.95. That is an amazing deal. That's less than £1 each per metre. That's the way we're doing it today. An incredible opportunity, a feature offer. Now you do get connectors. You do get connectors with this. Don't have them here in the studio, but you can see them in the graphics there. You do get bead cap connectors. Congratulations if you've got this 5 metres. 5 metres for less than £5.
So you've got all ready-made jewellery, really, haven't you? If you sell, if you do craft fairs, things like that, you with the connectors, you don't really have to do very much more, because you just put the connectors on. If that's, if you just wanted very, very quick wins for sales-wise, that would be, you've got all those necklaces, and you would, and you'd pay more, wouldn't you? If you went to sort of high street shops.
One of the interesting things about it is that you picked up on, and the word that I keep on hearing that you said right at the beginning is there's a fluidity to this chain.
Yes, yeah.
It feels like it does have this real easy wearability.
Absolutely.
And that's the nice part of it. It's really, really busy this morning. So lovely to have your company. You know, don't forget you've loads of different ways of getting in touch with us today. Free phone number there. You can dial as often as you like, get through to an amazing call centre. I mean, they really are fabulous. And if you're perhaps watching for the first time, and this is going to be your first purchase with us, I would always say it's really nice to be able to speak to somebody on the phone to get an edge, a feel of who we are and what we're going on. So, you know, why not give us a call? Why not just, you know, make that journey into jewellery making as the best way? And we do have an amazing brand new DVD that we send out, and it's just here. It's called Get Started. Brand new, it's just been updated, and this is taking you through the full journey of getting started into jewellery making. And it couldn't be easier, Claire, to get into jewellery making, could it?
No, and it's the best hobby ever. Absolutely the best hobby, and it's a community as well. So I think once you sort of take that step and you get, because you get all that tuition, all those tutorials, and encouragement really. So yeah, I think it's brilliant.
And this comes free of charge, just to be clear, this comes free of charge. Plus you also get the booklet as well. Back to back, that you get this with your first purchase. If you want even more inspiration, you want to be perhaps tutorialed, literally step by step, 8 p.m. every night, you will get that late show inspiration and Get Started hour. So that's from 8 o'clock every evening. So do tune in if you do want to have a little bit more support with our guest designers. We always try to give you that little bit of something special when it's about getting started into jewellery making. And I think in some ways, the biggest step is just getting started, because once you take that step, it is an amazing journey that you're going to take yourself on. And jewellery making is for any kind of creative, because for me, I'm not a creative and I love jewellery making. I know, Claire, you obviously naturally have a creative edge to you. You can see by the jewellery you create, but
yeah, I think you're right, though. I think
it's for
absolutely for everybody, and it doesn't. You don't need complicated tools to get started. I think is a great thing. And it's not inexpensive. You can start up on not very much, and you've got everything you need to.
It's such an important thing.
To get going.
I do think that's a perfect thing to. One of the things I think often puts people off is, well, it's a big investment of money and I don't even know whether I'm going to enjoy it. The nicest part about jewellery making is it doesn't cost a lot of money to get involved and to get started, to try it. If it isn't right for you, then you haven't spent a massive fortune. 30-day money-back guarantee we offer you with our amazing deals. And the nice part about us as well is that we also have a fantastic Facebook community. If you join us at Jewellery Maker at Facebook, you'll find that there's people supporting you at the very beginning of your journey, or if you're advancing through. And this is the kind of opportunity, the 5 meters that you have here, for those of you just getting started and for those of you who are developing new skills and want to find a new part of jewellery making. This is a kind of a perfect introduction to who we are. And in some ways, at this price tag, I have an inkling that I'll have people multi-buying, stocking up on this deal.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
5 meters.
Yeah, because don't forget, so there's body chains as well that are really, really in fashion at the moment. And people, festivals and summer holidays, things like that. And so if you've got all that length, you can sort of create your own with those connectors. I mean, you could do your own body chain, couldn't you?
I was just thinking, I love real simple bracelets. Just that like draping almost against the skin. Not too overpowering, not too powerful, but I want it to be an easy wear, impacting look. And I think bracelets like that, because we talked about neckline, we've had the idea of draping for the neck, but that's just 1 meter. I mean, look, you could make 5 bracelets, beautiful draped bracelets like this, and you could be talking about £1 cost. And yet, how much would you charge for a feature bracelet like that? It wouldn't be £1, would it? It couldn't be £1. It would be a giveaway if it was £1.
It would, and because you've got that, that beautiful fluidity. So, and at that price, you could cut it and make tassels because you've got enough there. So you just, coil your wire and then and have that as your tassel.
And I think, when you said about unisex, this would be great with the dog tags, the military tags that well, actually, they went through a real phase of being really popular, and they've come back around again.
Yes, yeah. You know, I think something like that, because it's quite simple, isn't it? And you can personalise as well. So if you do stamping, or you know, with the second demo, we're going to do a bit of wire writing. So you could do something quite, you know, for a bloke like that, couldn't you?
Totally.
You know?
Fantastic. Last few left in stock now, so if you do want to join us, hold those lines if you're on the phone lines, or of course don't forget to check out your baskets. Fantastic deal. I love that. I like the feel of it. You're going to be doing this quite a lot. You know, oh, it's very tactile. Fantastic deal. Now, when I came back off maternity, there was something that before I left 11 months ago, I know 11 months ago, can I just say that? I've been gone 11 months. Where's the time gone? How has that happened? 11 months.
I know.
What's that about?
Hasn't it?
Yeah, scary, isn't it? And they do say the older you get, the faster time goes. And I used to kind of go, no, that can't be. It is.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely the older I've got. Perhaps also 3 children fill up every moment of my day. And they go to bed at night. And when I've put them to bed, I'd like to say that that's when I get a little bit of time to myself. But that's the time where I have to do everything else to get them sorted for the next day. So that's another 24 hours done. When I was away, you started finding the most amazing deals on JewelleryMaker for something that I've been begging to get hold of. So when I'm introducing this next deal to you, just know that I am chuffed to my toes for you, that you've got the chance to get this enviable quality of jewellery making opportunity. This is awesome. You're going to make the finest luxury jewellery in a split second. First of all, you're getting your ring mount. Now, this is solid 925 sterling silver. This is your silver ring mount. It's in a size 9. Let me just show you, which is perfect for getting that impact on the hand of the sterling silver. So size 9, and then you're thinking to yourself, well, hang on a minute, Vix. Hang on. It's a ring mount, but where's the gemstone? Well, I tell you what. Here you are. Yep, you have got an incredible opportunity. Size perfectly to sit inside your ring mount. Now I'll just drop it in so you can see what I mean by size. Obviously I'm not doing it perfectly, and you have this setting so you can close the claws in to nestle the gemstone into place, but you can see size wise literally created and cut to drop in to your ring mount. You're about to make yourself one amazing piece of jewellery. And it doesn't have to take you hours, it doesn't have to take you weeks and months. You actually are looking at just dropping in this gemstone into the ring mount, and hey presto, you've got yourself one, I would say, boutique worthy piece of jewellery. Now, if I say the word boutique, I think instantly you're going to be worried about the price tag. I would be worried about the price tag. Boutique jewellery, instantly boutique price tag. That's what I'd be worried about. But you don't have to worry with us, because you have got boutique qualities of design. Sterling silver, let's not underestimate sterling silver. I would suggest if you were going to buy this in your boutique jewellers, you would be handing over a significant amount of money. Make it yourself, and guess what we can do? Under £20. Under £20. You cannot tell me, you can't tell me that you would look at a piece of jewellery that would be in a boutique, and this is boutique jewellery designs, isn't it? It's such a classic. You've got this beautiful surround of your white topaz, and of course that framing of the white topaz to then having that centerpiece of this luxury of your Swiss blue, sky blues, gorgeous electric blues in your topaz to then set into the center. Do it yourself, under £20. It would not be under 20 elsewhere, would it? Friday Frenzy. Friday Frenzy.
Oh, my word.
Naughty. No, that is naughty pricing, isn't it? £12.95. If you walked past a boutique jeweller's and saw a price, no, you wouldn't walk past. You'd run in. You'd have queues a mile long. If there's no way that a boutique jeweller's would put together a piece of jewellery of this calibre and then place a price tag of £12.95. I mean, when you look at this piece, it's over a carat. We're not talking an itsy bitsy teeny weeny gemstone. A carat, a full carat of Swiss blue topaz. And Swiss blue topaz is a luxury gemstone. You know, that's a luxury size stone. And you've got that luxury. Let me hold it there so that you can see. Look at the luxury of this centrepiece. I mean, that is serious quality. £12.95 is all you pay. I mean, when you look at each individual facet, this is when you know that you're buying quality lapidary work as well as quality ingredients. Hold those lines. We are busy this morning, rightly so, when we're doing Friday Frenzy deals like this one. £12.95. That is rock bottom pricing for top quality gemstones. If it was just £12.95 for the stone, I'd still be congratulating you. I'd still be saying to you, you've got yourself a great deal. But for me to offer, and this is when I've been sitting at home on maternity and watching these deals come along with the ring mounts and the gemstone for prices. Actually, I haven't seen prices like this. I've been 20, 25, 30 pounds, which I think is still brilliant pricing on our behalf. When you're getting the ring mount as well, the sterling silver. I mean, the amount of silver that you're getting within this piece, that for £12.95 is impressive. It really is show-stopping jewellery that you're going to be making with the ease and the comfort. And you might be thinking, but I don't know how to ring mount. I don't know how to set a gemstone. It's really not that difficult, is it?
It's not at all. I mean, I've just got myself the kit that we do, you know, the gem setting kit. But I did a late show and they asked me to just set one. It was a pendant, so essentially the same. So with the 4 prongs, and I didn't have the kit, so I just used my nylon jewel pliers, and it was fine. And I'd been quite apprehensive, thinking, well, I can't do that. That's you know, that's out of my skill set. I couldn't believe how easy and quick it was. And you have, like you say, you have a piece of jewellery that you've helped to make that you would buy from a jeweller's. You know, that's exactly what they do, same skills that they do.
Totally.
And it's so easy. And you feel really, really pleased with yourself because it's, you know, I've made this.
Because I think in some ways, when you're a jewellery maker, you just love jewellery. That's it. You know, whatever type of jewellery, beaded jewellery, you know, braided jewellery, wire jewellery. Actually, to own a piece of jewellery that you've been part of making that has this boutique feel, or imagine giving this as a gift. I mean, people will, if you're handing over this and saying, I've made this and I'm handing it over to you, and you're thinking to yourself, crikey, they spent £50, £100 on this piece of jewellery. You haven't. £12.95 and a bit of your time to set the gemstone. There is a tutorial. There is a tutorial on the YouTube on the YouTube on the YouTube. Can you tell that I'm so not down with that? I am not down with it at all. My children teach me all types of things, and my daughter's
I'm the same,
Mommy, just go on YouTube and find it. And I'm like, really? What? I don't even know how to do that. So she's 7. She's going, I'll show you, Mummy. I'll show you. There you go, Mummy. That's how you do it. Excellent. Thank you, my child. Yeah, £12.95. And so if you want to know how to set, go on the tutorial on the YouTube. And have you got the Facebook? Then you can access how you can set your gemstones. It's size 9. That's your size R to S. So size R to S in UK, or size 9 is US, you know, derivatives. So that's the size. That's the larger size. For me, that sits on my middle finger. Size 9. Normally, I sit it as like as a centerpiece. I know for some, you know, you've got variant sizes. It's up to you how you want to wear it and what it's appropriate for. £12.95 is all you pay. Congratulations. Great deal there. Solid sterling silver, of course. Now then, we're heading over, and I've had so many people messaging in about this necklace. Oh. So many people saying it looks just so stunning. It does, doesn't it? It just sits, I have to say, it sits beautifully on the neck as well. I love the fact that when you've got the quality of a gemstone jewellery piece like this, it makes you stand up a little bit taller.
It does,
or sit up.
Yeah.
You know, you put it on and you kind of feel that you want to...
Shoulders back and...
Yeah. It's silly how that's... No, I don't know whether it's silly, but it just...
But that's jewellery for you, isn't it? That it just, totally. Yeah, it can give you a different state of mind.
Do something.
Yeah.
And the jewellery that you've made... Wow.
Oh, thank you.
Just wow. Not just this incredible bib style necklace that I'm wearing, but from this one kit, I have to say, inspiration.
Oh, thanks.
That's what I feel about. I just feel that there's a real sense. And when you were working with this combination of stones and the wire, was it easy to just...
Yeah, is it a one step? I think when you've got something like that, and so you've got rounds, which are wonderful to work with anyway, but you've got those shaped gemstones, and then the wonderful wire that obviously matches. I think it just flows. It's not a stilted process, or you're having to put too much effort in, because it sort of all flows in, you know, in together. So
I mean, when you look at the detail, I just have to show you. I'm just going to hold this and just take a look at the detail. It's a beautiful combination of the two wires.
They work really well together, don't they?
Yeah.
And with that gemstone,
I was going to say, with the tiger's eye, it feels like it's just matching wonderfully the textures that naturally form within the gemstone. That you've then, have you prong set this?
Yes, yeah, because that's what we're going to. It's a prong set. But because what's the beauty with that gem is it's actually a faux prong set, because you've got a drill hole in there. So when we do the demo, you can see how to prong set it. But it's great for if you haven't ever done that before, because you can utilise the drill hole, which will give you a little bit more security. So, you know, like I was saying about starting your journey, build your confidence and work up like that. Because if you didn't really know about it, jewellery, you might not realise that there's a drill hole there. So, you know, you could sort of fool people really that, you know, it's a proper prong setting.
It is wondrous. And the nicest part about it for me is that when you look at the ingredients, it's a bit like when you bake a cake. You know, I always think Mary Berry, she inspires me, because I think she's got flour, she's got butter, she's got eggs, she's got all of those things. It's just ingredients. And with those ingredients, she makes the most amazing cakes. That's how I feel about you.
Oh,
you are the Mary Berry of JewelleryMaker.
I'm very happy to be Mary Berry.
Literally, because you've got those ingredients, and I'll show you them now. The ingredients here, and then be inspired to make the best cake that you can from those ingredients. And I have to show you, because I think probably where we begin is the inspiration of these tiger's eye. Wow, wow for tiger's eye. The life, the movement, the light reaction that you get from this, I would say it's got to be grade quality of tiger's eye that we have here, is amazing. Absolutely sensational. Look at that. Look at where...
It's incredible, isn't it?
Mother Nature is awesome. I'm just putting it out there. I'm sure she'll be grateful of the big up, but she is awesome when you see. And I'm holding them out, and each one of these is going to be a show-stopping centerpiece to your jewellery. As you can see with the jewellery that Claire's made, you've used for two of the necklaces that you've made. You've taken just one of those and made them the focal point.
Because what I wanted to do was show that how when you get gems like that come in that beautiful, you know, sort of graduated shape, that you could just completely restrand them and have all that wire in your stash and have a wonderful necklace. So you don't have to go over the top complicated, but you can separate them out, and you'll still get, if you sort of do it in a slightly different way, you still get that lovely graduation depending on which ones you take out. But yeah, individually, I mean, that's incredible, isn't it? That is absolutely incredible. And so when you're wearing that and you move, that's going to draw people's attention, isn't it? That it's a, you know, a wonderful phenomena, isn't it? That it's moving like that.
Well, when you consider that we're in studio synthetic lighting, that in all honesty does very little justice to natural gemstones. And that's the thing we've got to remind you is that these are natural gemstones. And when we're bringing you Mother Nature, what you really want to see them in is natural light forms. Put them in daylight, put them in candlelight. That's when gemstones really find their almost their situ, where they're meant to be. But what's wondrous is that the capabilities of quality stones like this, even in synthetic lighting, are reactionary beyond perhaps what you would ever anticipate a gem of this caliber being. Wondrous, truly majestic qualities of light reaction. Now, on top of having the majestic qualities of your tiger's eye exploding with life, you've also got rainbow obsidian. I can't even remember the last time I saw rainbow obsidian. I'm honest, I was trying to track. I tried to track my mind.
I know I've never had it in a kit. I know I've never had it in a kit before.
Well, I have to say, I've just been told, and now I've heard it. I was thinking perhaps it was just me. This is an exclusive to this kit. This strand has never been seen before, other than in this kit right now. So this is a total exclusive offer. Rainbow obsidian, an amazing deal, an incredible. See, there's almost a jet black baseline to this stone, and it's the only way I can describe it. It's like, you know, when you turn a hologram and the hologram goes from jet black to then moving. You've got that moving. Look at that. Absolutely incredible qualities. The light's not, I have to say that the studio, again, the cameras are really struggling to pick up, but you've got to get this home to see, with the 30-day money back guarantee, the way the light is moving over those stones. You do have this awesome holographic, like, natural tendency to your rainbow obsidian. Phenomenal qualities. And I have to just heads up, because I've got people messaging going, what about that wire? I know. It says there on the graphics, 140 metres of wire.
It's a treat, isn't it?
What? What? 140 metres of wire. That is a lot of wire. I mean, seriously. So first of all, you've got copper wire. It's always good to actually turn it the right way around. I was like, oh, I'll just look at it. So this is your point, your 0.4, and this is your copper wire. This is obviously, it gives you that antique feel to your jewellery, doesn't it? Yeah,
because obviously with the, you know, it's antique bronze, so you're getting that real, that, like you say, that vintage feel. Yeah, and obviously with that gauge and that amount, so if wire weaving is new to you, it's a wonderful amount to really experiment, really hone your weaving skills.
100 metres.
Yeah.
I mean, in all honesty, 100 metres, even for our most experienced wire workers like yourself and Alison Tarry, you're still going to take a long time to use up 100 metres.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm nowhere near. I'm still on I haven't broken into the second sample, so that's obviously, you know.
That's still...
Yeah.
So you've made all of this jewellery?
Yeah, and all, obviously, my demo pieces and sort of practice pieces. So, yeah, there's loads there. Loads and loads.
That's a lot of wire. Yeah. Plus, you've also got all the gold wire. Now, the gold wire is perhaps what you classify as your structural wire, the wire that's going to give you the chance to be able to give you some kind of base to then work your jewellery on. 0.8 that you have here, that's 10 metres. You've got your 0.4, again, of the gold, so that's going to match alongside your copper wire. And then you've also got 10 metres of your 1 mil wire as well. That's definitely much more of your base structure wire, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got 140 metres of wire. We haven't seen a huge amount of wire recently, and certainly not to this amount. In one kit to have 140 metres is pretty epic. So you've got that, plus on top of that, let's not underestimate how majestic those tiger's eye are going to be. And actually, probably when you see it on the neckline, and I hold it like that, this is when we mean the word majestic really coming into action. A wondrous look, and all for one price. Now, I'm a little bit anxious to tell you the price tag, I'm more anxious that I don't have enough quantity to go around, in all honesty. So everything that you're getting here should be at £45.20. That's the price you should be paying. I'm very anxious to say that if you want to own this deal, that if you want it, you've got to be quick. That quantity of 100 on, gone. And I will guarantee this is Friday Frenzy at its very finest. We're at £19.95. That is a 50%. In fact, more, 55? Isn't that 55, 50? It's got to be towards 60% saving. Crikey on a bikey. Can I just say, I think I might have just done maths. Maths live on air. I've done the maths live.
Very good.
Amazing. £25 saving on that whole kit. And the one thing we have to remind you is that the wire that you're working with is not going to just last for this kit.
No, goodness me, no.
That's the thing about it, because it's so much. This is endless. We're going to inspire you today. I mean, when I say we, Claire is going to inspire. I'd hate to suggest that I have any kind of inspiration for you. Claire's going to inspire you. But this is just the beginning of your wire work with this quantity. This is just the start of where you can move to.
And I mean, you'll see, so many gems later through the show that gold wire will go beautifully with. Because, you know, you think gold goes with most things, doesn't it? So,
totally.
You know, it's not just the gems that you've got here. You know, it's wonderful to have all that wire in your stash.
With the kyanite.
Yes, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just going to say that about kyanite. Oh. The kyanite would be wonderful to go alongside your golds. I mean, especially I think with the richness of the blues that we have. I mean, it's quality all the way with our kyanite that we have later on. With those shades of blue, and then to have that luxury of the gold alongside, that really would be sumptuous, almost Egyptian flair to the jewellery.
Yes, it would.
Glorious. £19.95 is all you pay. £25 saving. We've got a message coming in from Miss Janet. I like that. Hello, Miss Janet. We got to say, wow, Claire, that's all beautiful. Looking forward to a great show. You two will be such fun. Hi to the JM gang.
Aw, thanks, Miss Janet.
There's Cass. Cass is giving us a wave. Everybody in the gallery was saying hello to you back, Janet. Carrie's like that. Oh, yeah. We got another message come through as well from Marjorie. Oh, good morning, Marjorie. She says, morning, ladies. I've got my order recording show now. I have to pop to the stables, turn out 4 horses and get back for the next
Oh,
go, gallop off now, Marjorie. Trot on. Brilliant. Take care. Feed the horses, get them sorted, and we'll look forward to having your company. Send a message in and let us know that you're back. And then we've also got good morning. Great to have lovely Vicky back on Freeview. Looking forward to Claire's brilliant demos. An interesting AM ahead.
Ooh.
Polly, I concur.
Thanks, Polly.
Very interesting. Now you're going to show us. Basically the intricacies of creative piece. Because for somebody like me, and I would presume that a lot of us watching right now, I would look at a piece like this and go, I could not even begin this piece. I wouldn't know where to start.
So that's what we're going to do. We're going to break it down into different the processes that we go through. So we'll look at the slightly different weaves, because there are a couple of weaves on there, and how to actually prong set. So you know, there's quite a few different techniques in there. But if we break it down, you'll see, you know, they're quite easy steps, but then when you put them all together, that's when you get that.
And that's always the case with jewellery. I always think that when I look at something, I go, oh no, and then when you make it step by step, I go, oh, actually, I could do that. I can do that.
It's having a bit of confidence and just not being intimidated by different processes. And like with that, you know, because you've got so much wire, if you mess it up the first time, you know, you've got plenty to just go back and, you know, don't give up, just go back and have another go at it. Yeah,
140 metres, especially for the price point. You don't have to be too precious about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Know? And I think sometimes when you're spending money, you do want to get the most out of it. But when you're making such a huge saving, £25 back in your pocket on this kit. I mean, that's no laughing matter, is it? £25 back in your pocket for exactly what you would be paying. 45, just to be clear about this, £45 and 20p, that would have been the price that if you'd have put this together on our website right now, if you were buying these as separate entities, putting it together for yourself, £45 and 20p is what you would have had to have paid. So that's not us just picking a price out of the, out of thin air. £45 is what you would have paid. So this kit for £19.95, what a deal. What a deal you've got. Now, we're going to start.
Okay.
Let's start at the very beginning.
Right, we're going to start at the very, very beginning.
A very good place to start. Right, beginning.
Okay, so the beginning. So you can, it's entirely up to you. I'm going to work with the 0.8 nag, but remember you've got the 1mm in the kit as well. So if you prefer to work with the 1mm to do your prong setting, you absolutely can.
And why would you work with the 0.8?
I prefer to do it with this because I've got a little bit more malleability with it, and also this is what we're going to do as we go through it. You're going to see it's I want more delicate results, but also it's a faux prong setting, so I haven't got to worry too much about that tension, about that structure, because I'm going to go over the top with it to because I've got the drill hole, but I'm also going to add detail that will then secure it as well.
Okay. So if we were doing a prong setting without the drill, without the security of that,
you could still use your 0.8, but I would probably prefer to use my 1mm, which is fine.
Yeah, a little bit more strength.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'd say if you're first time for doing prong setting, have a go with your 0.8, get to know sort of the movements you're going to have with your wire, and then work up to the higher gauge.
Sense. Yeah. Makes total sense.
So if we start off, so I'm going to take the, if I just show you how I split mine. It's awesome. Fantastic, isn't it? Oh. They all are, I mean, and they're different, but they're all fantastic.
And they're each going to give us something different, aren't they? That's what I like about the shapes. Yeah. They're each, oh gosh, look at that. That's...
I mean, that's what I was saying. You could just, if you don't want it, you could just have it as it is there. I mean, that's a beautiful shape. I mean, I've actually turned mine round on because you can sort of play about with the different shapes that you've got. But also, if you take those two away, you've got, you've got fantastic rings. So once you've done the prong setting technique, you could make yourself a wonderful ring. So that one, the one that you're wearing, is not actually the largest gems. But when you take them out, if you separate them out, so I want to do a single pendant with the largest one. So I'm going to just pop that one out. Yeah. So what I can do then is I'm going to take the other second largest. So I'm going to have that one as a single pendant, which now leaves me with this section here. Okay. So you wouldn't really know that you'd removed two of them, because you've still got that wonderful graduation, and you can still play about with the end pieces there. So that's how I've separated out my gems. So if I just pop those out the way.
Just to let you know, 3/4 of the stock's already allocated. So we're looking at the last remaining 23. If you do want to join us, if you've put into your basket, you need to check out. If you haven't yet, just to be clear, if you've literally just flicked over, and you might have, looking at the time, you might have just tuned in and gone, oh, hang on a minute, what's going on here? £25 saving on this deal at $19.95. Should have been £45. And of course, we know that we're not seeing this kind of quantity of wire at £20 normally, 140 metres of wire. It's a lot of wire to get for one price tag. So if you do want to join us, first come, first serve for the last of stock.
Okay, so working with the 0.8. So as always, I'm just going to run it through my fingers, getting a real feel for the gauge that I'm working with. Before I start working, to try and get rid of any of the kinks out of it, because obviously it's a lot easier to do it like that than once I start working, and then you'd have to work on a smaller scale with your pliers. So I'm just going to get all those kinks out, warm it up a little bit. Now I want to take, I'm going to take about 50 centimetres or so, and obviously this will depend on how much detail you want sort of sweeping round the gem itself, because you're going to have one continuous piece of the prong setting, the bail, and some of that weaving going across the front. Okay. So obviously, depending on the gemstone and how much decoration you want, if you want more, you need to take it longer, but you can always add in. Yeah. So if we start off, what we need to, when we're doing our prong setting, what we need to think is before we start working on the prongs, what we want to do is we want to create almost like a little base first, so we don't go straight into the wire work of the prongs.
Yeah.
So if we turn it over, and I'm going to start, and I'm just going to mirror my first shape, my base outline is going to mirror the shape of the gem that I'm working with. So what we're going to start off, we're going to almost do like this little tie shape. So I'm just going to, all I'm going to do, I'm going to create a V. So I'm working with my round nose pliers and my chain nose pliers and my flush cutters. So just standard, you know, standard tools. So I'm just going to create a V and put that up to my gem, because what I want to do, I want to come in sort of maybe about 5mm or so in between, on the inside of that, the outline of my gem.
Yeah.
So if I start off, so if I bring round, so I'm going to come up here. Now, if I put that there and I think, right, that's come out a little bit too far, can you see it's right at the edge? So I'm just going to correct that and go in
because it's a malleable wire.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've just squidged it back.
Wow.
And, you know, no problem. So, you know, don't, as long as you're not sort of going back and forth to weaken the wire, you know, that's why jewellery making is brilliant, because you can, you know, you can correct things. So I'm going to go in at that type of angle now. So I'm going to do exactly the same on that side.
I love the fact that the coating, the quality of the wire, the coating, allows you to play that much.
Yes.
And it doesn't tarnish. It doesn't.
No, it doesn't. And if you work it and work it, and with this backing part, because this is at the back, you know, don't worry too much, because you're going to be binding this as well. So, you know, if you're new to this, don't lose confidence if it's, you know, the back bit is not the tidiest. So just sort of, you know, stick with it. So we've got our little shape here. So now what we want to do, if we imagine that we've got levels, so if we take that as level 1, so I'll just move that back in there. So I'm now going to leave this one wire at the top. So I'm going to leave that one, and that's going to form part of my bail. So I'm going to go round. So I'm going to be taking this wire now. So if I just move that round like that, put on, and I want to come about here. So I'm going to bend round, and this, so I'm on the next level now. So if I hold it out like that, you can see I'm going on to the next level. And this is the level that I'm going to have nearest to the gemstone, and is going to have my prongs on it. So I'm going to bend that round. So if we look at it from that angle, you can see I'm going on to, so when I say like the next level, I've come all the way around as a full, so I've got my base outline, and then I'm onto the prong setting. So if I pop that on there, so if we go here. So what I want to do now is start doing the prongs. That's it. So I've got one full outline. So I want my first prong to be sort of midway on that section. So I'm going to use my nail as a guide, and then I'm going to come out. So I'm gripping now with my chain nose pliers, and I'm going to come out at a right angle. And I'm going to gauge now. So you can do this by measuring if that's what you feel comfortable doing, or you can just do it by eye, because as we said, this is a faux prong setting, so it's going to give some support, but it's not we haven't got as much tension as if it was. Yeah. So we're going to take this. So if I look and I want to bend over and a little bit over onto the front of the gem, so I'm going to be saying I want about this much. So I'm going to use my nail as a guide, take my chain nose pliers and bend all the way back. So when I've got it at that point, I'm just going to squeeze those together. So I'm taking it down on my chain nose pliers, so I've got a nice wide surface area to get control, so I don't go one over the top of the other wire, because I want them just sitting next to each other. I'm going to open it out slightly, put my chain nose pliers back in, and carry on sort of on my way round. So I've squeezed that together, so you can see I'm starting to build the prong coming out. I
see that straight away.
So now I want to, underneath that first layer, so this was the first layer we did, and I'm going to come about here, because I want my second prong to be coming on that point. So if I just take that back round, and again, because we've got our two components, so we need to make sure that they're fitting with each other. So I'm going to come out at that point here. So if I take that off again, and I want to make that roughly the same sort of length. So I'm going to come off, and so I've probably got, it's probably about just under a centimetre, I would say, maybe about 8
and I presume that the thickness of the gem that you're going to nestle will also dictate how long you want the prong to be.
Absolutely. So you can, and so they would be obviously shorter if you've got a lower
depth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to do exactly the same now on the other side. So I'm coming off, mirroring that shape, and I'm going to do a prong on the other side, exactly how I did this prong here.
So while you're doing that, I'm going to offer you a little bit of a special treat. I will just put this out there that I've picked this up. Ooh. And I didn't want to put it, in fact, I don't want to put it down. I want this, I genuinely want this strand. I think this is a really special opportunity. We don't see this gem very often, but when we do, my goodness me, the phone lines will light up the moment you see the words amber. It is one of our most popular gemstones. It has always held its revere in the gem world. When you start to think about how this gem forms in its natural content, you're talking about a true wonder of nature. And you've got that opportunity to get 5mm rounds in this honey amber. And I daren't tell you the price tag. I'm not going to even mention the price tag. I'm just going to point there and say, if you want it, that's not your price. Friday frenzy guaranteed today. It's a go, go, go. One of our most popular stones. It's history, its luxury of nature is what makes it such an envy to work with in the jewelry making trade. What a phenomenal opportunity that you have here. If you see something you want today, especially when it comes to amber, you have to be incredibly quick to go for it. It's not the type of gemstone that hangs around in our vaults for long, because it has so much wonderful luxury about it. Honey amber in particular, because it has this warmth of texture, it's going to go gloriously well with the wire that we have today. It's going to go fabulously well with the kit that we've already introduced to you, of which we're on the final few now. I have to just give you a heads up. If you do want that last kit for a saving that you've made of £25, it's the last few that we have left in stock, so it's a go, go, go on that. Add it to your order, and of course don't forget it's one postage and packing for the whole day. So once you pay that £2.95 to buy the kit, or perhaps you bought the chain at the beginning of the morning, whichever you've bought, whatever you buy first, you've then paid your postage and packing that you can keep on adding to. You don't have to pay it every single time you make a purchase. You just keep on adding to that £2.95 order. It's an amazing way of purchasing for a full day of jewellery making goodies. $14.95 for your amber. Gonna go great with a kit.
Oh, it's a absolutely perfect addition to it, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you could imagine when you see this. Oh, let me just turn it round again. When you see that like so, and then if I add in, you could imagine that being lovely. A wonderful addition. I mean, almost I could imagine it running. That's exactly how I was thinking. I'd just wire in a few, I think, going across. Yeah, can you see how you've got that wire run there? I would almost just... They'd go beautifully. Wouldn't it? The golden hue of the amber. Wonderful addition if you've got the kit. It is a limited available gemstone though. We don't see a huge amount of amber. Huge congratulations if you got that one. Sorry. Now we've done our 3 prongs.
Yeah, so we've done our 3 prongs. So if I just sort of split it out so you can see when I'm talking about the layers. So what we want is we want this layer with the prongs, we want that to be nearest to our gemstone rather than that way. Oh, sorry.
If I just hold that like so, we can see the 2 layers. If I hold it like,
so you can see the back there.
Hang on. There I am. Took a while. Can you see there? If I just hold it to the profile, we can see the 2 layers that you have of the prong, and then this running through there the detail.
Yeah. Cool. So what we've got is, because you've got that you've got the gold 0.4. So what you need to do is you need to start binding now. So we're going to bind these 2 layers and the prongs all together. So I would start at this point. So starting here, which is because these are going to be our bail wires, and leave yourself a good tail here, just in case you need to attach or just as like a safety net, really. So you're going to be working all the way around, binding round and binding right up to each of the prongs. So if I just show you,
and you know, when you start to talk about binding, my biggest thing about binding is how you get started.
Okay,
so I get really, it's a bit like knitting. I can never knit on. I find it just something doesn't work for me.
It's not as difficult as starting, not for me anyway. So it's a case of if you grip the one hand, and if so, I'm right-handed, so I would just, if this were my if I was starting off here, I would just be, I'd grip here, a couple of wraps around one wire, nice and tight, squidge them together with your nail so that you know that it's anchored on, and then start to bind.
And is that enough to anchor?
Absolutely. So you're anchoring on. So if this were the wire, I'd just anchor on and push together. So push those wraps nice and tight, get a nice tension on that weaving wire, and one next to the other so that you're binding. Push along, so that you're going
tight.
So they're butting up next to each other rather than going over and over each other.
Okay.
But you can see, so if you have a look at this one here, so I've bound all the way along in my gold 0.4, and I've taken it all the way up to each of the prongs.
Yeah.
And then move over, so you can see that. I think you can just about see that.
You can.
0.4 there. So I've sort of gone right up to each prong because I want that nice tension there. And all the way back round, and so you can see I've left myself, this is the little tail I'm talking about, because what the joy with this kit is, you've got that drill hole at the top of the gem there, if you choose to use it.
That
I would, just because it's there, so you utilise it.
For the security.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we've got now, so you've got, because you've still got your wires left from when you've done you haven't snipped those off, because those two wires are going to become your bail. So if I just show you a little bit on here, so then I swap now to my other 0.4 wire in the sort of the complementary colour, so in the antique bronze. So I'm just going to start. So if I just get rid of some of these
I think the gold against that colour, it just adds such a lovely two-tone texture, doesn't it?
Which mirrors the gemstone. So all I would do on this one, and you can play about with different weaves on here. So all I've done on this one, because it's quite a nice quick weave to build up, I'm just going to do either, so you could either do like a 5 and a 2, or a 4 and a 3, whatever suits you, combination. And all that is, so I'm going to start off, so I'll be working with my my 0.4, so I'm going to wrap the 2 wires, so I'm going to go around both of them twice, and then I'm going to drop down and then wrap, say, this one at the bottom. So I might do that 5 times, and it's really not a big deal if you're not exactly right, because nobody notices it, you won't really notice it, and when you start to curl this wire, it changes shape anyway. So, but you can see when I'm doing it, I'm working really close to where I'm weaving. I've got a really nice tension. You can see how that's pushing into the pad of my thumb there, to get a really nice tight weave. So I'm doing a couple, and I would bring all the way down, and then I'm pushing that together.
I guess in some ways, I always think that with weaves, the finished result is so wow factor, and yet when you see how simple it's
really simple, and
it's so easy once you start doing it.
Absolutely, and I think you also get more of that wow factor if you put in a couple of different weaves as well. So hopefully that's, that you can see that's pretty simple. So you would just work, and you can work up as long as you want to go up, really.
Okay.
So if we just have a little look, so the second weave, I'll do that now while we're talking about weaving, is, so all I've got now this time, I've got 3 pieces, so I've cut off separately. So I've got 3 pieces of the 0.8.
Yeah.
And all I'm going to do with this one is, I'll just turn that over, because the other thing to remember is you'll have, with this one, you've got 2 different effects, so the back and the front. So all I'm going to do with this one, if I just come through, is I'm going to start wrapping. Let me just find the back and the front. So I've got my three wires. If I just split them out so you can see. There we go. And I'm going to wrap over like that. So I've just done 3 at the top and 3 at the bottom. So that couldn't be simpler. Absolutely. So what I can do now, so that would be your other weave. And the other section on that pendant is just gizmoed wire. So now all I need to do, I can just put my gem into the prong set. So with the prong set, how I would start it off, when I've got a straight part of it, I'm just going to turn the end over slightly. So can you see I've got a little bit of a section there, and then I'm just going to bring that up, and so that curves around my gemstone, and I would do exactly the same with all of them. But as I said, so the beauty of the gemstone you've got here, if you want to, is you can just put that one of the tails through the top of the gem.
And that just locks it in.
And that's going to lock it in. So although you've done all the prong set, you know, it's actually a faux one because you've got that security as well.
Brilliant already.
Straight away, doesn't it? So all you need to do now is if I'm just going to twist that, so I'm going to take my round nose pliers, and I'm going to start to create a bail at the top. So I've just done a little twist. And obviously the longer you do that top weave, the more, you know, you're going to have to play with. So I'm going to bring that all the way across. So you can see straight away how that starts to build up. So if I do it like that, so you can see, so I'm just working my way all the way around. And there are ways, there are different ways. So you could hammer out these pieces, so no more weaving here, hammer them out, so you've got a bit more of a flat edge, and come across, and you can leave it like that, but you can see essentially how you're starting to build up that.
And you just continue that building.
Absolutely.
With the weaves and adding to that, to the texture.
And the gizmos.
Isn't that an incredible opportunity to be able to create something so dramatic with the wire that you've got there? I've got 3 kits left, so if you want it, it's yours for the taking. If you do want the amber, $14.95 from $19.95, and what a treat that is. Congratulations if you have been successful. That is amazing.
Did you know that no matter how many times you purchase with JewelleryMaker in the same day, you'll only be charged one postage and packaging fee?
Join guest designer Gemma Crow as she brings you a fascinating DVD that teaches you how to create all of your important findings that are essential to everybody's collection. Gemma will take you through step by step to create all of your finishing touches that bring your pieces to life, essential for all jewellery makers. To get your hands on a copy of this fantastic DVD, contact our call centre on 0800 644 655. Get creative with JewelleryMaker.
JewelleryMaker course gift vouchers are now available. You can choose from a bronze, silver or gold voucher. Each voucher is worth a different amount that entitles you to put towards a course of your choice. For more information, contact our call centre on 0800 644 655. Do you need a helping hand to get started with JewelleryMaker? Are you stuck for ideas and need inspiration? Then visit our JewelleryMaker website, where you can find our video tutorials. Expand your knowledge and skills with these easy-to-follow jewellery making demonstrations. Whether you're a beginner, hobbyist or business owner, there's always something new to learn. It couldn't be easier. Simply click and learn some new jewellery making techniques.
Oh my goodness me. This is a morning to really, really rejoice, because I'm kicking off this hour with a bead scoop. Now, we love a bead scoop. We love a bead scoop because you just know you're going to be delighted with the surprise. Watch this. Gemstones ahoy, we have got for you an incredible, ooh, wow, wow, woo! Oh my goodness me, there are some incredible smoky quartz you've got there. Right, every single bead scoop is different. That's the fun about it. You don't know what you're going to get, do you, Claire? Yeah. And that's what makes it exciting.
Yeah, very much exciting, yeah.
And one of the nicest parts about this deal is that you're getting so much for so little. Every single scoop will interest you because it is going to offer you large and small pearls. You've got top drills, you've got some gorgeous stars with this one. Yeah, every single scoop is going to introduce you to something perhaps that you haven't worked with. And as jewellery makers, we want to be challenged because we want to find something different. We want to create something different. But the nice thing is that if you're also brand new to jewellery making and you want to just perhaps create something simple, some nice stretchy bracelets, just to introduce yourself to working with genuine gemstones, and you don't want to spend a fortune, well, this is ideal for you. And of course, getting started, if you are first purchase with us, you get your free DVD and you get started booklet. You get all of this for one price tag. And that price I was about to say $4.95. I was genuinely about to say $4.95. It's not $4.95, it's $3.95 for this incredible combination. All genuine gemstones. That's the wonderful thing about a price tag of $3.95, because I don't even think you'd get synthetics at $3.95. Such huge varieties that you can guarantee within one scoop. As I say, I can see pearls, I can see tiger's eye, I can see smoky quartz, see some gorgeous slabs of agate. Wonderful way to introduce you to genuine gemstone jewellery making. And perhaps if you have already, perhaps you dabbled in jewellery making with synthetics, but you really would like to try working with genuine gemstones, but you're not sure what to go for and you're not sure how you're going to go about it. This is a brilliant way to really expand your jewellery making capabilities without having to break the bank. $3.95. I mean, goodness me, that's a return bus fare for most places these days, isn't it?
Or a fancy big coffee, isn't it? It's not really. It's nothing. And I think, that it allows you to, like you say, that you'll have a play and experience gems and different shapes and sizes and types that you would have to spend a fortune, wouldn't you, to buy every single type of gem, every single shape, every single colour. And when it's like that, you're getting that selection, and it allows you to think. So when you see a strand next time, thinking, I've worked with that from that bead scoop. I know I can make really wonderful jewellery with that, and I think it helps you in that way.
I think you've got to know that today, Friday Frenzy, it kicked in an hour ago. I mean, we're on it, genuinely pushing every boundary. We've made savings of over, I think it was 55, nearly 60%. But then on top of that, we then drop in a $3.95 deal on what we already know is incredibly popular at $4.95. At $4.95, our bead scoops fly. I've got queues on the phone lines, but actually, in principle, the queues are bigger than normal because we've just taken another £1 off. We didn't even need to take a £1 off. This is one of our biggest deals. Congratulations. Suzanne's in touch with us. She just received my 2 bead scoops this morning, sat on the floor, sorting them out. Beautiful. Now then, the big thing about this is when you're sitting looking at them, Suzanne, is there something that makes you go, oh, or is it all just making you go, oh? Because that's the wonderful thing about bead scoops. When you get a strand, you know you're going to be delighted by one gemstone. With a bead scoop, you're going to be delighted by Mother Nature just as an umbrella of gorgeous qualities. Genuine gemstones. I can see sunstone there, Sunstone. I can see Wouldn't this be great if you're part of a jewellery making group and you just want to have a bit of fun for one session, and you just set yourself a challenge. You put the bead scoop and you all have to make one piece of jewellery.
Out of it. Yeah,
how cool would that be?
Brilliant. Yeah, absolutely.
You know, all get together and have a little bit of fun with just one scoop. I think that would be great. Lynn in Tyneside. Hiya, Lynn. How you doing? She says, good morning, everyone at JM. Welcome back, lovely mama. Oh, am I a mama? Oh, yes, I am. Mama. Or as Frankie does this is how she wakes up in the morning. Mama, mama, mama.
Aww.
Mama, mama, mama. That's how she wakes up. And I'm like that. That's me. She doesn't know she's talking about me, but that is me. She's just saying noises, but I'm thinking she's talking about me. So it's great to see you looking so fabulous. Oh, bless you. Thank you, Lynn. Any chance we could see a photo of the baby? Yes, I've got photos of the baby. Oh, not so much of a baby anymore. She's an absolute poppet. I have to show you. This will make you laugh. This is what she looks like pretty much every day. She smiles. That is my little girl. Little Frances Rose Brown. She's an absolute poppet, and she smiles like that most of the day. She's awesome. She's hilarious. Oh, and here's the family together. These are the three. My brood.
Oh, look at them.
Yeah, this is Georgie, there's Zach, and then, as I say, there's little Frankie. And they are wonderful children, and they'll just be, Georgie and Zach will just be at school at the moment. We want to be together. She's going, what am I doing? Do you think she's doing a selfie? Do you think she's actually holding the camera going, smile, kids, smile? So that's my gorgeous family, and thank you so much, Lynn, for welcoming me back, and to everybody who's supporting me as I'm returning back into the wonderful world of Jewellery Maker. Honestly, I've missed everybody so much. The good thing is that I've been watching. Claire was like this month, she said, oh, we've not worked together. I go, no, but I've been watching you. I know you. I know you. $3.95 for your bead scoop. Still queues on those phone lines. Most people multi-buying on that, actually. I would suggest, based on the number of people who have already purchased, I'd say probably 90% have multi-bought 2s and 3s on that deal. That's how good a deal it is. So if you've only bought one bead scoop, perhaps you need to get back on the lines and back on the phone lines and maybe multi-buy yourself so that you've got that deal. $3.95. Little bit of a treat there. Now then, these are glorious. Absolutely glorious. If I hold them like this, first of all, now I'm going to say the word sterling silver straight away, just to be clear, totally sterling silver. The last quantity that I've just had, nowhere near the quantity that I have on this deal, so you're going to have to be pretty sharpish to guarantee this offer is going to be yours. You've got 5 pieces, so you've got 5 of these. I'll put them out so then at least I know I've shown you them. You've got 5 of these, and I'm going to show you the back as well so you can see how they are connectors. Aren't they glorious? All 5 floral designs, and to be used in a variety of different ways. For me, often is the case with jewellery making, you buy something like this and they're designed for one purpose, but actually they are so versatile that you can create lots and lots of different ways of working with them, even when they're not designed for that purpose.
Yeah, and I think that is something that jewellery makers and creative people, that's what they do, and they love to do that.
Think outside the box.
Absolutely, yeah. And you definitely can with things like that.
I will just hold them again so you can see where the drill holes, there's 4 drill holes. You can see there to the profile, and then if I drop them forward, that's how so they're going to look great if you want to do a 4-strand bracelet, but instead of those 4 strands being dropping down, if you want to have them more of a structure so that you have them a little bit more of a strap across the wrist, then these are going to keep them separated. You could use it that way. You could use them as drop earrings. I mean, actually, you could have this. Ooh, you could have this as a beautiful pendant couldn't you? Couldn't that be a focal point for the neckline?
Yeah, because you don't have to, although you've got the 4 holes there, you don't have to utilise every single hole. So, you know, it's, yeah, that's really, really good for that, because you would just put, wouldn't you, just put, say, a jump ring in the top one and the one at the bottom, and then have something dangling down. I'm
going to do drop earrings. I'm going to show you these, because I'm thinking these, you could use the top drill, as you've just said, use just 2 of them. So I'm going to use the top one for my shepherd hook. Then I'm going to use the bottom one perhaps as just having a little drop of a gem, or I've got some gorgeous aquamarine that would look wondrous with this. Can you imagine that? I like that idea.
See, how that would be, it's the bridal, isn't it, fair, that I think this weekend?
Yeah, it is.
You know, if you're doing bridal commissions, say with the pearl at the bottom, you know, some of the pearls that we do. I mean, that
and it's sterling silver.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing we've got to remind ourselves. This is sterling silver, so you have got that How much silver? Wow. Okay, if you want to join us on this deal, first come, first served. For me, I've never seen these before. These are brand new to me. You've got 5 in total, 5 of these wonderful. So that means you could do a full set of jewellery just based on these. So you could do drop earrings, so that's 2. Centre pendant, that's 3. Use 2 for a bracelet, you know, to have them as centerpieces connecting. And that would be a full set for 1 price tag. That would be the full set, earrings, pendant, and then 2 for the bracelet. Wouldn't that be brilliant? For 1 price tag of $9.95. All 5 for $9.95. That would be a full set of jewellery, feature sterling silver jewellery that you're creating for just $9.95. And I love the fact that you've got so much detail. You know, when you start to think about what you would normally get for a $9.95 sterling silver price point, this is real intricacy. That's going to give you that extra class. And I think when you look at them, you're right, Claire, there is that bridal influence to them, isn't there? Yeah,
but it's not too over the top, is it? It's not too, you know, a flower is a really, really popular motif, but it's not, you know, it's not too over the top. It's not sort of garish with it. So, you know, it could be, and I think depending on what gemstone you put it with as well, that will alter the look of it.
And the nice thing is you've got the stamp. So if you are selling, or if you are, you know, somebody who wants to give a gift, but give that gift with a guarantee of it being sterling silver. Anybody who works with jewellery will often find that sterling silver is more popular because it's hypoallergenic as well. So anything like that, you just want that seal of approval to know that it definitely is what we're saying it is. 925, there's your stamp. 925 stands for 92.5% pure silver. So you can see that there. Congratulations, you got there. They're really substantial, aren't they? Absolutely glorious. Feature offer. I'm wondering if you could work our exclusive kyanite rounds alongside this. I'm wondering if what we're going to do, because you're going to work with silver on this quality of kyanite. You would have to work with silver. I mean, the grade quality of this kyanite is enviable. I'm wondering, can you see how you've got these little links here splitting? I'm wondering if you could use these as your connectors to a bracelet. Sterling silver. Sterling silver, look at that. Isn't that absolutely outstanding? Yeah. And we are looking at true regal royal blues. Huge quality of kyanite. When was the first time, last time, or have you ever seen kyanite in a round? And I tell you that the likelihood is this might be one of the only chances that you'll get. There's a reason for that. Does anybody know the reason before? You know the reason why you won't see it in rounds very often? Because it's one of the most ridiculously challenging gemstones to cut in any shape, let alone trying to get it into a round. And I would suggest the reality of this, I was about to say that. Now, Dion's just said, she's just said, Vix, the quantity, there's only 34. I was about to say, I think the reality is this is going to be a limited stand because the time that it will take to cut just one of these into a round, I can't even start to wrap my head around how we're talking top grade lapidary work. I'll tell you a little bit more about it. Let's put this to air in what, 15 minutes? 34 only in stock. Can't pre-order, you can't get hold of this until I put it to wear in around about 15 minutes. But all I'll say is that to my knowledge of cutting kyanite, the reason that there's only 34 in stock, and actually probably only 34 that we'll ever get hold of in this shape, is because it's almost impossible to cut. Almost impossible. Huge congratulations. Absolutely. Those sterling silver mined, if you're gonna get the kyanite, I'm just thinking use the kyanite, use the silver connectors.
Be a good combination, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it just? We're not going to say no to that. Congratulations, you got that. Now we have got rubies. Oh, man alive. No way! When were these on air? Why was I not watching? How did I not see these? Okay, last of stock. There is not enough. There is not enough to go. It's Friday Frenzy here on JewelleryMaker this morning. We are look at the quality of this ruby. I mean, let's just remind ourselves, rubies are type 2 gems. Do you know what that means, type 2? When you start to grade a gemstone, the GIA, the Gemological Institute of America, you grade them in 3 different expectations of clarity. So there's type 1. And type 1 is where you would expect to see no inclusions at all. And there's only a few that have very, very guaranteed clarity. That would be aquamarine, morganite, smoky quartz, kunzite, blue topaz, green tourmaline, tanzanite, and blue and white zircon. That's it. So there's just 9 that are guaranteed type 1, right? Go to the other extent, go literally exact opposite, and type 3, there's only 3 type 3 gemstones that will guarantee that you have to expect that they'll have inclusions. Emerald, rubellite, and pink tourmaline. That's it. Every other gemstone that you would probably expect to get from JewelleryMaker is going to be a type 2. Type 2 is essentially, if you get clarity, you've got high quality. If you get textures inside, then it's probably likely that you'll see a few, because that's the type of gemstone it is. So your quartzes, perhaps you talk about, you know, the likes of your rubies and your corundum gemstones like sapphire, you would expect internal texturing, and probably quite heavy internal texturing for a gemstone like this. When I'm talking about high quality, I'm talking about clarity in this ruby. This is awesome. You would not normally expect to see anywhere near this kind of clarity defining this gemstone. I mean, as I say, it's a type 2, so you expect it to have internal textures. You would not expect the light to be able to move through this stone as it is. Awesome, utterly awesome grade of ruby. And I can't believe I'm going to say this. We're about to price slash. We're about to price slash. I told you it's a Friday frenzy. No hesitation on this one. Friday frenzy, because the price you should be paying is $84.95. The price you're actually paying, wowzers, wow, $64.95 is all you're paying. And I have no hesitation in saying that this is grade quality ruby, and I can say that because you can see the light playing through. You would not normally expect to have this type of light reaction. You wouldn't expect to see a diphanic quality of gemstone in a ruby. As I say, type 1, yes. Aquamarines, morganites, kunzites, those gemstones, yes. Type 2, sometimes, but you would high end. That's what you've got here, high end qualities. Absolutely awesome grade, luxury all the way for $64.95. Claire, where are we going with this in terms of design? I mean, gosh. Well,
yeah, I mean, it's I would want something that you would get all that light through. So I mean, you know, the prong setting that we did, you could do that on a smaller scale, couldn't you?
Sorry. I had an epiphany. Claire stopped because I went like this. Oh, I just had an idea. It doesn't happen very often. Let's just rejoice that it's happened today. That's it. The rest of the month, I'll have nothing to offer. You know, I was saying about the earrings.
Yes.
You know what I'd be doing? Because you were saying to get the light moving through. One earring.
With one at the bottom.
One at the bottom.
Yeah.
Just to let that light move like that.
And because you've got that graduation on the strand, so you could do your full suite, couldn't you? So you could have like your pendant. That would be a perfect, perfect together.
Wow. And you would deserve to, because the size of these stones, actually they would be perfect as having a feature pendant matching alongside a pair of earrings.
Yeah.
And I mean, they are boutique quality rubies. With boutique sterling silver, with that type of design, just adding to that luxury of glamour. I have no hesitation in saying if you walk past a boutique jeweller's, you'd be handing over some serious cash for anything of that type of design and quality of look. You'd be handing over a lot more than $64.95 to my expectation for one pair of earrings, let alone. Look at how many you could be making. Look at the quality of opportunity for $64.95 that we're bringing you. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 8 and 20. I'm talking what, 25-ish on average that you've got on a strand. 25, well that's £2, well less than £2.50 a gem. Ho-ho!
That's crazy, isn't it?
Ruby is a precious gemstone. It's not just a semi-precious stone. It's one of the 4 ultimate precious gemstones on the planet. And I'm not just bringing you ruby, I'm bringing you grade quality ruby. You can see because of that movement of light. You can see by the glow of the colour that is just transcending throughout the gemstone. You've got it for $64.95, a full strand. You must check out your baskets on this deal. If you want to guarantee yourself luxury, well, it's luxury for less, £20 price slashed off this deal. And I don't think we even needed to do that. I genuinely do not believe that we needed to take a penny off this price tag of 84, let alone dropping it to 64. But that's what the Friday Frenzy is all about today. We are on a mission. We're on a Friday Frenzy mission. Now, I've got a gemstone here that as soon as I introduce it to you, I expect it to be gone. I honestly think sorry, am I picking up for what price tag? Herkimer quartz, sometimes known as Herkimer diamonds. Have you ever heard of Herkimer diamonds? Herkimer quartz. Herkimer diamonds is essentially Herkimer quartz, right? Oh no, you can't do that price tag. No, Dion, you can't. What is Herkimer quartz? Well, Herkimer quartz, Herkimer diamonds, however you want to talk about them. Probably most people in the jewellery industry would know them as Herkimer diamonds, because when Herkimer quartz first came in, when we first saw this, which was we had one strand about a year ago, and everyone's gone, Herkimer, I've never heard of it. And actually, most people in the jewellery industry would call it Herkimer diamonds, because when they were first found, that's what the belief was, that they were diamonds, and so they kind of got that name attached. And then it's remained constant. They're actually quartz. It is quartz, but it's known as Herkimer diamond in the jewelry trade because they have this diamond-like luxury. They are almost forming in a diamond formation. Can you see there?
But that when you lifted the strand, that sparkle, it's like that's exactly what it's like. It's wow, isn't it?
It is a wow factor. Yeah. What's fascinating about this gem is that it naturally forms like this. It forms in this wonderful shape. So instead, like normal gemstones, they form with a flat base because they normally have a host rock or they have some kind of pressure that shears them. This gemstone doesn't. This gem has a double-sided shape. So can you see how these have got pointed edge? That's how it naturally forms. And it's one source that you get it from. It's only one place, and that's Herky that is in the United States. There's only one place that you source this gemstone from within this natural form. It's in New York. This is a super duper strand. And the price point, and I will say this to you, the price point is utterly ludicrous. And I'm saying that word without hesitation, ludicrously low pricing. I know it's a Friday frenzy, but actually this is when you see what kind of a mission we're on today, because we're bringing you Herkimer quartz, totally naturally forming in this silly pricing. $6.95 for her. Do your research. In fact, you probably would have to research Herkimer diamonds to then find out what Herkimer quartz is, because Herkimer quartz, as I say, is essentially Herkimer. That's ridiculous. Absolutely awesome. Most people buying so far are multi-buying, and rightly so. You're doing absolutely the right thing to get it at this deal. 50 carats, $6.95. What a chance you've got there. Now, what's the thing that we have to remind you is that although you're looking at this and thinking that this has got that rough formation, the wonderful thing about this is that it is naturally forming like this. We haven't had to, you know, often is the shape is created by facets that are man-made. Sometimes perhaps if you buy from other places, the rough shape is placed literally other places. They put their gemstones into a barrel, right? And they then roll the barrel. And then the gemstones hit off each other, right? Like a tumbler, like a tombola. You know when you do like the tombola and you pick out a thing? They do that with the gemstones. And the gemstones hit off each other, and then they bring them out and they go, they've been faceted. Essentially, they've just been cracked. That's not what we do. These are naturally forming like this. Oh, look at the quantity. It's disappointing. Oh, literally, it's got to be gone. Most buyers multi-buying. I have got George, I've got Janice, I've got Pauline, I've got Patricia. These are all people who've multi-bought. That's multi-buying. It's on and it's gone. And I have to say, if you're watching today for Friday Frenzy, the good news is this is just the beginning of an epic day. And the day gets better because I'm about to bring you, first time I've ever seen, kyanite rounds. This gemstone is one of the most complex naturally forming gemstones in the world in terms of its crystal formation. And as a lapidarist, as a gem cutter, it is one of the biggest challenges, because if you cut this gemstone, in fact, when you find this gemstone and when you cut it, there is more likelihood that it will be cut and be absolutely colourless than for you to cut it and it be blue. This gem, honestly, it's mind-blowing what we've done to get it round. I would love to speak to the lapidarist. I'd love to speak to the gem cutter who did this, because I'd shake their hand and I'd give them a bottle of champagne, because I think they deserve it, or at least a bottle of whiskey, because they must have spent so much time creating this round. Now, let me explain. How this gemstone forms is that it has two different axes like this. So if you cut to this axis, right, you will get a white gemstone, totally devoid of colour. If you cut on this axis, then you'll get blues. However, if that wasn't complicated enough, this axis has got around about a 3.5 in terms of its strength on the Mohs hardness scale. This axis is 7.5. So you have to cut it. If you cut it in any other angle, right, you're going to lose the strength of the gemstone. How on earth this has been cut? Now, when you go to then facet a gemstone, just a classic facet of just a simple shape on a kyanite, it is one of the most challenging. Most people would say diamonds are the most challenging. Rubbish, right? Diamonds, once you've got that classic shape that you know what you've got to get out of the diamond, because you know what you want from the diamond, and it is a mathematical equation for something like a diamond. This is not mathematics. This is literally skilled craftsmanship. This is somebody coming along and having to work and analyze the axis is on the gemstone to not just get the shape right, but to get the strength in the gemstone and to get the color. That is like offering you a Rubik's Cube and then saying, but it's not just a Rubik's Cube in the standard type, I'm going to give you an epic Rubik's Cube, now fix that one, sort it out. That's how challenging a cut this is. I am beyond myself. When I saw this morning, I could not work out how on earth it's been done. It's
when you hear that but you see that intensity of that colour, that is amazing, isn't it? Because you know, to think that if they'd done it another way, you just wouldn't have that intensity of the blue.
You wouldn't have it at all, though. It is totally devoid of colour. And also, what we've got to remind ourselves is that this is pure blue. And when you have this blue, right, we've got to remind ourselves that they've had to have used top quality kyanite in the first place. So they're handing over, you know, really what is, it's a bit of a roulette of, okay, I'm going to give you top quality kyanite. Now you have to get the very best out of it and cut it to the top quality of rounds. Go for it. And the chances are that could have been actually on the cutting room floor as a fail, because that's how much of a challenge it is. Now, once it's cut, it is super strong. It's a 7.5. So once it's cut into this and you've got a guarantee of the blue, that's how it's going to be, and that's going to remain constant. It's just in the cutting process, it is an utter challenge. And what a reaping of reward you are going to get working with this gemstone. How exciting. 79 carats of kyanite, spit that one out, and we are bringing you the ultimate deal on a first time for me, and I think a first time for most of us. Kyanite rounds, 7mm. Yours for the taking. Go for it. Awesome. Utterly awesome. It is $69.95. If you do want to join us, 0800 644 655 is the number to dial. If you want to join us, you can do so at JewelleryMaker.com. What's wonderful is that you can start to see the schiller. Can you see that there? Now, kyanite is actually not normally an asteristic gemstone, but when it's cut, again, when it's cut to quality, you get that luxury of light reaction. This is utter amazing opportunity. I don't think you'll see many deals like this coming up. I really have to give you a real heads up that the likelihood is that the 34 that we have right now are the 34 that you'll see on JewelleryMaker and potentially never see a round cut again. That's how ridiculously exciting this is. We've got Claire literally just pouring at it.
It's mesmerising, isn't it? It really is.
But now you understand how it's made in terms of the cut. Now you appreciate the skill of the cut.
Absolutely. By having that knowledge, it gives you a much greater appreciation, doesn't it? So, you know, and it's passing on that knowledge as well, isn't it?
Absolutely. And you know, the thing is that it doesn't add to the colouring in terms of how we look at it now. It just adds to our appreciation of the colour. You know, that royalty of blue, that luxury of sheen that you're seeing here, we loved it anyway. We just now appreciate it even more when we then understand the effort, the skill and the craftsmanship that has been invested into each one of these gemstones to get it to you today. And we've got to say, if you want to join us, what's this say? Jill's just said, if you see the kyanite on this photo, you can see the cross access in white on one of the stones. Oh, can you? On the web? Oh, that's interesting. So if you've got access to JewelleryMaker.com, have a look at the photograph on the web. And Jill's saying you can actually see the axis, I keep on saying axis of the white to the blue. I feel like I'm doing some kind of dance. White to the blue. White to the blue. It could be the kyanite dance. Just me thinking. You know, I haven't been out for a long time. You know that, right? I mean, literally 11 months. I haven't moved from my daughter's side. I've been feeding. And so literally, I haven't been able to be away from my daughter for about 11 months. This is my first proper time away. I slept a whole night last night without any disturbance.
Did you? Do you feel funny today?
I feel horrific today because of it. I think I've just got used. I've got used to not sleeping, that I think I've probably overslept now. And this is what it used to be like. Ah, yes, this is how my body feels when it sleeps. I've got Stella, obviously. Oh, is it strong enough for a ring? Oh, yes. Oh, yes, we use kyanite in all jewellery types. When I was talking about the strength of it, what we've got to know is once it's cut, it's one of the strongest gemstones. Let's remember the likes of sapphires and rubies, they're only 9. I mean, obviously quartz is 8, so this is right on the cusp of being as strong as quartz. So absolutely, yes, 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 100%. A feature ring, oh, look at that. That would be a standout ring. That would be a really standout ring. $69.95 is all you pay. Look at that, yeah. What are you thinking?
That's exactly. I was thinking a ring, because you would want to just, well, I'd just be staring at it, or I'd never get anything. Don't you just be staring at it all the time? And it'd be lovely to have, you know, have it in the setting, but movable as well, so that you could.
Oh yes. So you could really see that sheen.
Yeah.
Are you going to do that?
I'm going to try.
Get in.
I'm going to try.
Keep watching, because we are going to give Claire this for a challenge. And I can tell you now, the ring that you're going to be making, Dion has already dibsed it. Sure, that's mine. That's mine.
I'm not surprised.
$69.95, and huge congratulations if you are lucky enough to get that. 75 carats of kyanite. When it says plain rounds, it just means it's not been faceted with your classic facet. I always think when it says plain, there's nothing plain about kyanite. Just to be clear, this is the last thing that this gemstone is. Luxury all the way. Hold those lines if you do want to join us on that. Can I also remind you, you get a 30-day money-back guarantee. And on a strand like this, at $69.95, I can appreciate it probably goes $69.95, Vix. I understand that at $69.95, you've got to get it home to appreciate the wonderment of this gemstone. You can see it on the cameras to a certain degree, but it's about looking for yourself. See this for yourself. Use your 30 days, and I can pretty much guarantee there will be no returns on that strand. No returns. You won't stop staring at it. Literally.
I know, you can't. And I'm thinking, you know, you could, I mean, the strands of pearls that we do, you just need one in the centre, wouldn't you? And that would be, again, you know, a really beautiful bridal piece, because you'd have your I know I keep going on about bright, but, you know, your something blue is there, isn't it?
Lovely. We got it on.
Right.
We got it on. $69.95, as I say. It's a go, go, go on that deal while we have it available. Once that deal's gone, I do not think that we'll get many other chances of having round cut kyanite. I really don't foresee that at all. We have some wonderful gemstone strands today. I feel like I've been treated. Ready? Every single one. Now just take a look at this one here. Just for now. Just take a look at this one here. Right, and I want you to, as I'm moving this, what I want you to do is tell me what colours you can see. Are you ready? Let's do it together. Tell me what colours you can see. Actually, you know what I should be saying? Tell me the colours you can't see in this labradorescence.
Pink, blue, orange. Oh, we're going the other way, aren't we? I can see them all.
You literally...
That is... Oh, look.
How outlandish is that for a colour spectrum in one gemstone? Can I just check? This is labradorite. It's not amalite, is it? Because that looks like amalite, doesn't it? That actually looks like amalite. That's the range of colour that you've got.
I'm getting all the flashes of the blue and the purples and the pinks from the one sort of down.
Yeah,
and
I just picked one.
Yeah,
it's just that one just caught my attention. You just can't. You could see the blue even from the distance shot of camera 1. Wowzers! Wow, that is one of the most exceptional strands, and as I say, you can see I'm holding this one up because I wanted to see the rainbow colours, but this one's going, what about me? Excuse me, you do know I exist, excuse me. That was my accent for that. Did you get it? Excuse me. That was I actually genuinely thought that's how that Labradorite would talk. Do you want me to do one more time? Excuse me, what about me? What about me? That's how I'm presuming he talks. No? Kerry's saying no. No, Vic's no. So that one stone looks positively spectralite. Good word. Honestly, that is awesome. Congratulations if you're watching today, because that is coming up. Not now, I'm not doing it yet, but it's coming up later. Everybody's like that. You mean you're not doing it now? Whet our appetite. That's like dangling a carrot in front of a donkey on Blackpool Beach, isn't it? No, not yet. Not yet. Coming up soon, though. Not yet. Right. We have got these ones. All of them? Well, all 4? Okay. Okay. So 2 tubes for 1 price. 2 tubes for 1 price tag. Now you've got approximately 320 pieces together in 2 tubes. Now let's put this into perspective. In 1 bracelet, let's just break this down. Break it down. Let's just break it down. Hang on. Oh, didn't mean to throw that. I'm just thinking, right? Let's just see. I'm just going to put these. I'm just going to have them out like so, because I'm thinking if I do this like so, in a length, you probably need. Wow, look at that. You've hardly used the tube at all. And this is to make just 1 bracelet. Because at the moment, we've talked about this morning, didn't we? Layering bracelets is big, right? And I'm reckoning I've used about 1 inch of the tube. I'll hold you, I'll just show you there, right? That's how much of the tube I've used. That's it, right? And look at this. That's a bracelet. That's a stretchy bracelet. And you could make 1, 2, 3, 4, let's say 5 stretchy bracelets from just one of these tubes. And that would be 5 lovely, stretchy, easy wear stacking bracelets. And for me, when you consider that tube there, you would look at it and you go, no, I can't get that much out of it, surely. But when you start to run them out, when you actually see how many you get in a tube, it's an incredible amount of jewellery that you've got the chance to be able to make. And I'm making feature jewellery, I'm making a one-stop. These are great for spaces, these are great to add additions to. I mean, rings like the ones that you've made in our kit today, if you wanted to just add, say, just 1 or 2 to the centre of a piece like this, it would add another dynamic. And you are talking about it hardly denting the full tube of these beads that you're actually going to get. You're going to get 2 tubes. That's over 300 pieces in total, and all for 1 price tag. And that price tag, $11.95. for 2 tubes. That's 2 tubes. And I dare to get them all out just so you can see. Look at that. That's a lot of opportunity, isn't it?
I wish I'd, in my handbag, you can do, I've done a little beaded design before on the show, and it's a little heart. And so you use about, I think it's either 31 or 33 of those. And so you just use your monofilament.
Yes.
And you do a bead, like a design that gives you a heart. So with that size, you would do, there'd be beautiful pendants or bracelets.
Feature.
Yeah, and so you don't need to actually have with gemstones. So I mean, they are, to me, absolutely essential. I mean, I keep them, you know, I've got the silver ones in at the moment, just because you can do, you know, so much.
Oh, look you are.
You know, that they are, to me, as essential as like your pliers, really.
Because they, for a designer like yourself, I guess in some ways, the detail that you put into your jewellery is the difference between being a standard piece of jewellery and it being just something a little bit different.
Like, you know, the one that you're wearing, so I've added them into that because you've just got, it just adds in that little bit of detail. Sometimes you need them as they are, spacers to sort of, for the piece to balance properly. So, to me, they're an absolute essential.
They're an essential. And I do think for most of us, when you start to see beads like this, it's a must-have in terms of just having them there to turn to when you need them. Yeah. It's not, what you don't want to do is in the middle of a piece of jewellery go, oh, it would be really nice if I had. And that's when you don't do it. And unfortunately, then your jewellery's made and you don't get to add that extra detail, that extra something that would make your jewellery stand out. This would be absolutely perfect for you. £11.95 is all you pay, £11.95 for the 2 tubes. This is just 1 tube, by the way, so I shan't get the other tube out because I would get into trouble for doing. I kind of want to do it now. I kind of want to be really naughty and be a rebel, because we all know that I'm not really a rebel.
It's all that sleep you've had.
It's that sleep, exactly. I say I'm charged today. My battery is officially charged. Although, to be honest, I think I probably could have slept for a lot longer.
Yeah, it'll be tonight then if you have back to your normal, and then it'll hit you.
I haven't spoken to my husband yet, so I don't know whether he's had a sleepless night or anything. I daren't ring. It was his first ever night by himself.
Oh, you have to make sure then that you say you had a lot of sleep. I'm sure he'll be really pleased.
That would be really harsh. That would be really harsh. And yet I'm so going to do that now. £11.95 for your 2 tubes. Congratulations. Those are an essential stacker. Barbara, you know that. Pat, Frances, great to have your company. And Caerphilly, Frances, that's my little girl, Frances. She's not in Caerphilly unless she's travelled down there in the middle of the night. It's been a really bad night. Pete's got her in the car and started driving. And he's ended up in Caerphilly. My mum said she used to do that. Because apparently when I was a baby, I never slept. And so my mum said she used to just dump me in the car and just drive. And she'd end up in random places around the country. Did you have to do that as well, Dion? He loved car journeys. Yeah, okay. Where did you end up? Oh, you just did it at the top of the road, up and down.
Yeah, I did that with Ellen as well.
Did you up and down
yeah. I think lots of people.
That's the extent you go to get your children to sleep. Please sleep. We have got so much to fit in today. We have got some serious deals. Let me just show you. Wow. There is so much potential from one strand. This is your cappuccino coloured agate. It's not even cappuccino, this is a latte plus a cappuccino. It's something funky that's going to give your jewellery a little bit of a twist of something different. It's a fantastic quality to the pattern and the print. Every single one of them is different. Every single one is going to offer you that unique, it's a unique work of art. And then you say a work of art and you put a price tag on it, and surely a work of art is priceless. That's what it should be. And yet our price tag is going to be less than £10 today. Great size to give you impact. If you were watching at 8 o'clock this morning and you saw Claire creating the prong setting design, you could prong set these without a hesitation as single centerpieces. You wouldn't have to use them in any way, all together. What's fantastic about the size of these, the 30 by 20, is that they could be a focal point claw set and just let them be that centerpiece to the neckline, to the wrist wear, prong setting them. But with the security, Claire, again, you could add that security as well, couldn't you?
Absolutely,
like we were talking about today.
Yeah, and then make the so you've utilised the drill hole for your security, but then also to add detail at the bottom. Like the pendants. So you could just add. I mean, it would go beautifully with the if you got the first kit.
Yeah, wouldn't it, with the gold and the copper wire? That would be fabulous, wouldn't it? If you do want to join us on this deal, as I say, it's gone less than £10 guaranteed, and I've already got people buying when I've said that. £7.95, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 on this strand that I'm looking at. So let's work on the average of 10 to 11 guaranteed, and you've got the versatility of being able to utilise each one of these as your centerpiece to either the wrist or the neckline, or even a pair of drop earrings if you like the drama on the ear. $7.95. It's going to go so far to being a focal point. And I often think that it's rather nice to have subsidiary gemstones, you know, those that work as a perfect background. But sometimes you need that one epicenter, you know, that you know, I often call about we talk about the eye of Horus, you know, having that central element that creates the focal point to your design. Think that's what these are, aren't they? With their pattern, with their print, their interest of unique qualities. This is going to be such a great look and great to go with the first kit. £7.95. Tina, you've got yours. Mary, Thora, you've got yours as well. Ruth and Janet's join me in Yorkshire. Patricia's also in Yorkshire. Joyce is in Yorkshire as well. I've got 3 ladies all the way from Yorkshire. Lovely to have your company, ladies. I could drop them off as I'm driving past this afternoon, couldn't I? Ding dong, special delivery. The number to dial the bottom screen, 0800 644 655. Joyous at JewelleryMaker.com if you prefer. Of course, we have got the app as well. An amazing treat. What a treat of textures and patterns. You've got a sheen to these. Lovely high density of polish that you're getting as well that just adds another texture. Can you see there?
You know the long ball chains that you had to start off with? You could just have one, couldn't you? Just one of those on...
Like a lariat.
Yeah.
A nice lariat to the midriff. Maybe even with a bit of a tassel.
Yes, yeah, you
could, know, just to add that movement. Great deal for $7.95. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. 11 of them, as I say, going for just £7.95. Just stay on those lines for me if you do find yourself holding today. It's just busy. It's Friday frenzy, so there's no surprise that there is a bit of a queue on those lines. Great treat there. Great treat. Straight to... Now, where are we? Now then. I saw these on air the other day and I just loved them. This is I think the last time you're going to see them, because I don't think they're going to be around for long. I genuinely don't think that these are going to be around for long. They are so popular. Oh, I need to have them on. What the heck? I need to have it on. Literally, for me, I don't think you need to do that much to them to get a wow factor piece of jewellery, because the base of your design is going to be truly show-stopping anyway. Now then, let's just do this. Look at that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Instant luxury to the neckline. The finesse of the manufacture of this collar is so much about getting that feel against the skin, to feel the quality of that undulation, and that's what it is. It's undulating. If I show you what I mean by that. Can you see how there's that malleability about it? That looks like some kind of... I can't do it. You could stop doing that now. You can stop doing that now, Vic. I'm like, I don't want to stop. It reminds me of, can you remember in the 80s how you used to body pop? That's what it reminds me of. No? You don't remember that, Kerry? No. Kerry's too young for that.
I don't think Kerry would have been born. Would
yeah. Kerry, were you born yet? In the 80s? You weren't born in the 80s? No. Kerry, when were you born? 91. Oh,
no.
I could cry. But I shan't, it's fine. You've got that wonderful collar. You've got this real feel of instant wow factor. Could you imagine? It's because at the moment, these off-the-shoulder tops are really popular, and into summer, apparently spring, summer this year, everything's about the shoulders being out, you know, just exposing open necklines. And you could imagine wearing a nice shawl, you know, I'm not suggesting that you have to go out and out boob tubey, but you could have a nice shawl, but this could be your feature to the neckline, couldn't it? You know, a nice maybe maxi dress for your springtime look, but you want something to really home your look in. This is it, isn't it?
What I've done with them is, because what you're often looking for when you make jewellery is you want that structure, don't you? You want that that strength for your piece of jewellery. Mm-hmm. So what you can do is if you sort of cage a cabochon in any way, in whichever way suits you, because you've got all those sort of that undulation, but you've got all those gaps in between, so you can just wire in, and the wire is hidden really well, so you can have your leave it plain if you wanted to, but if you want to embellish it, then you just wire in, and those wires are just hidden. You don't see them.
They're just going to sit inside, aren't they? That would be fantastic if you just got the cappuccino as well. Yeah. They would look great, wouldn't they? If you do want to join us on this one, are you getting two? You are getting two for the price tag. You're getting two for $11.95. You can't get costume jewellery for $11.95. The $11.95 these days, when you go into when you go into your fashion shops and they have these stands, $11.95. I think you'd be hard pressed to find anything of this status, would you? $11.95 for two, and that's before you then add your JewelleryMaker stamp on it, your own individuality on it. I'll quickly just show you that there is an extender chain too, so that you know that you've got the versatility of wearing it longer or shorter as you see fit. You can see that there's that little detail on the end of the clasp as well, which I always rather like, because you know that just adds that edge of quality to the final finish. $11.95, there's that real sense of sturdiness, that real wearability. It sounds silly to talk about jewellery being wearable, but actually there's a lot of jewellery out there that I look at and I go, it looks really pretty, but it's just not wearable. This is wearable, but looking stunning at the same time. And if you're looking to give a little bit of an edge to your designs, a contemporary feel, you know, giving you that structure, you could really do that. There is a sense of Egyptian feel to this, and I don't know why about that. Do you think it's because it has that strength of curve? I think so. I mean, I wasn't. I wore the gold one. I went. It was like a Grecian themed evening, and I wore the gold one. So I think, yeah, that was a similar thought I had. It's really looking, and what I like about it is that I've got quite a closed neckline today, and it looks really nice on even like a closed shirt neckline. But I also think that if I had an open neckline, it would really highlight my shoulders. I think it would really give that openness. I think I might actually have to have these. $11.95 is all you're paying. Congratulations to Eileen in Derbyshire. I've got buyers in Devon and in County Down. I've got West Midlands and Belfast. Julie's in Northamptonshire. Hello, Julie. I've got Jennifer in Kent. Gainer's also in Kent. Hello, ladies. $11.95 is all you're paying. You're getting both of them. Now, if I put this like so, if I do that like so, that looks great, doesn't it? That does look great. And I think the nicest part about it is that we've got here the chance to be able to display our jewellery as it deserves. And I say this all the time when we do trade shows together, we always say this, don't we? Why invest all of your time to make gorgeous jewellery if you then don't display it as it deserves? You deserve to make the presentation of your jewellery, even if it's just that you're, you know, putting it on your work table, or perhaps even on your dressing table. You deserve to put your jewellery that you've put all of your time and energy into creating something special. You deserve to set it and place it and display it. Absolutely fantastic busts. We often say in business, if you put it against a black texture bust, the drama obviously is maximised, and you've definitely got that here. We're going to do you an extra special treat because you're not just getting one bust for this. It's a bit of a trade show special, really, isn't it? because you're going to get 2 for 1 price tag. And how about this? You buy 1, you get the second for £3. Buy 1, get the second for £3. That's the way to do a Friday frenzy deal. If you do want to join us, don't forget, loads of ways to get involved. 0800 644 655. And our postage and packing, I get asked this all the time, postage and packaging, £2.95 for the whole day, and it does not matter how big that parcel is, it's still only going to cost you £2.95. Right? I am so perplexed by postage at the moment. I feel like when I go to put something in the post, I go, oh, is it a big parcel? Is it a little parcel? Is it thin? Is it... They've changed the parceling to the point where I don't understand it.
I know, so yeah, same for the envelopes as well, isn't it?
That's what I mean. It's weird. It does, honestly. Will it... Fix it, Claire. Talk to somebody about it. My father-in-law's a postman, and I did say to him the other day, can you not just speak to somebody? He was like, yes, I'll ring the CEO of the post office and I'll talk to him about it. Yes, that's right, that's what you should do. But actually for us, none of that makes a difference, because £2.95 you pay once, whether your parcel's this big, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how heavy it is only £2.95 for the whole day, and I don't know many places that do that. I genuinely cannot think of any other place that I know of that offers such a brilliant delivery service. £11.95 for your 2 busts, so that's buy 1, get 1 for £3. Great way to display your jewellery, to really... We have a saying in our family that presentation is 2/3 of everything. So how you present something actually makes a massive difference to how somebody perceives the quality or the value or what you look like. And that's, for me, why you deserve to use these stands, because you've worked hard to make something special, and therefore you should present it as it deserves and to be seen as the way good looking as it is. £11.95 for those 2 busts. Congratulations on that. Again, loads of people watching. I've got Irene, I've got Doreen, I've got Susie, I've got Brenda confirmed on this as well. So you have your 2 busts. Now, straight after the break, we have got for you the incredible grade quality tanzanite. We have got this coming up very, very soon indeed. Have you ever seen anything quite so rich based colour-wise in tanzanite in a full strand? You might see 1 or 2. You might see 1 or 2 of this level of colour, but this is a full strand of rich quality tanzanite. That's coming up later on, but coming up after the break. Am I doing this after the break? Do I have to wait after the break? Oh, okay. I have to wait. We have got the labyrinth. We've had so many people messaging in about what time we're playing this. It's coming up straight after the break. The most outstanding grade luxuries of colour. Breathtaking. I mean, genuinely exciting offer to look forward to. Straight after this.
Gemma Crow brings you into the world of patina. You'll create stunning effects with the guidance of Gemma right beside you. This DVD includes adding texture to your designs, preparing your metal, applying the patina, neutralizing process, and finally, the finishing process. To get your hands on a copy of this fantastic DVD, contact our call centre on 0800 644 655. Get creative with JewelleryMaker. The JewelleryMaker Wall of Fame is where you get to showcase your skills as a jewellery designer. Each week, one lucky entrant will win £100 credited to their account, and the runner-up receives £50. If you want to enter your design, just send a photo to studio@jewellerymaker.com, or you can post your photos to JewelleryMaker, Ivy House, Henley Road, Outhill, Studley, B807DU. Get making and good luck.
This has got to be one of the most definitive grade luxuries of labradorite that I've ever had the privilege of offering you here at JewelleryMaker. To the eye, I can't even start to tell you the colours that I can see. I feel like I should be saying the colours I can't see. And that's outstanding for labradorite. Labradorescence is classically a turquoise to gold, to yellow schiller, but it's never normally a rainbow spectrum. I mean, take a look at this close-up and you are seeing a rainbow of qualities. This really is, without any hesitation, a show-stoppingly luxurious Madagascan labradorite. I've never experienced a labradorite with such an extreme range of colour, not just in one of the stones, but so many of them are bringing you a range of greens to goldens, yellows to oranges. It feels like Aurora Borealis-like qualities, you know, really a fascinating arrangement of textures, tones. It is flying out, and rightly so. I haven't even told you the price tag. I haven't even mentioned the price tag, and yet I've already got people making the purchase. Sharon, Arusha, collectors in Suffolk, Paul and Nicole. I've got Stephen, Carol. Congratulations to just fascinatingly luxurious. This is a gemstone that has a natural tendency to give you a phenomena that is based on essentially metallic inclusions that radiate light. So that's why it's normally blues to goldens that we expect to see. But this is something altogether different. Every single one of these stones is offering us a unique view into Mother Nature's capabilities. If you do want to join us, like I know you do, like Jan and Deborah and Jackie and Fiona and Claire and Patricia and Belinda, if you do want to be part of this deal, it's first come, first served. The price tag that I'm offering on this, and I mean, can I just count how many we've got? It just like in principle, the price tag 2, 4, 6, 8. I'm talking at least 20, if not, what? Whoa, okay. So I just went to count, and as I went to count, I thought I'd seen every kind of colour. And I've just, one that I hadn't even noticed before is like a peacock's plume. See if I count it. You know when you think of the plumage, is that a word?
Yeah.
The plume. I was thinking to my word, is it a word? The plumage on a peacock. I don't know whether the camera's going to pick it up, but oh my goodness me. Can you could just start, you wait till you see this when you get it home. Wowzers. Every single one of these gemstones is there. See what I mean by the peacock's plume? Wowzers. Absolute wowzers to your labradorite. Size-wise, 11 by 9 to 25 by 16. The larger the surface area, the more significant the reaction is going to be. But what's nice about this, is that, sorry, I know, I got a little bit excited there, but you understand why, because when you're working with gemstones on a day-to-day basis, like I have for over 10, 11 years now, you would think that I'd seen everything from a gemstone like labradorite. You'd think that I've experienced the wonderment that is labradorescence. No. This gemstone has taken me to another stratosphere of admiration. This is another layer of luxury, of colour spectrum that you've got to get home and see for yourself. Please do get this one home. Use your 30 days. Tell you what, I'm going to put my neck on the line here. I'm going to put it right there. I'm going to say to you, use your 30 days today, 30-day money-back guarantee. I put my neck on the line in every way, shape and form on this strand, and I'll say you don't need 30 seconds to know that you will not return this strand. I do not believe there will be one return, not one. Now our returns on JewelleryMaker are tiny anyway because the quality to our pricing is so impressive. However, to my thinking, not one strand will be returned, and if you return it, I promise you, then in fact, no, you won't return it. There is no reason to return a strand of this calibre, especially when I tell you the price tag. You're thinking 50? $24.95. Open luxuries of colour spectrum. Every part of this gemstone is going to capture it. Every single one of them is going to offer you something different. I mean, on this one here, where you've got the lighter tone to the colour, you've almost got silver reflecting in the gem. Can you see it? It's totally different, every single one. Side by side, they look like almost different gemstones. They're not. It's just that the natural makeup of labradorite is so much so that as the light catches in the different spectrums of the metallic inclusions, that's when you get different reactions of light play. Wonderful, wonderful chance to make a huge difference to your jewellery collection, your gem collection, but also to your jewellery designs. And that's where I turn to Claire, because I know that you can't be anything other than fascinated.
Absolutely, and I think when you've got labradorite, you can either go, well, you can do everything with it, but I would either think just keep it really, really simple and just put, I'd probably do silver wire through. But to me at the moment, on another show, I think a couple of days ago, I did some scarab beetles, so there's a lot more intricate wire work.
Oh, yeah.
But if you hadn't got the wire to do the sort of, the shell of the scarab, with that colour play there, that to me would be a wonderful, the body for it. So, I mean, and that shape, size, everything would be perfect.
And Wendy's just saying, I've got labradorite, you need to get them. They are stunning. The grade of colour range that you're getting here is almost what I would classify as an amethyst-like luxury. And those of you that know of amethyst is an incredibly rare gemstone, but it's graded based on the amount of colour that you see within it. So each stone, if you grade an amethyst, you would grade it with either no grade, A grade or double A grade. A double A grade means that you have to see at least 3 colours within that one stone. For me, if I was to parallel that grading, I don't know whether it's fair to do so, but for me, if I was grading this alongside the same principles of an amethyst, how many different colours can I see? Well, I am most definitely seeing 4, 5, 6, 7. This is off the scale in terms of the colour spectrum that you're seeing within this. Certainly not is a normal definitive quality of labradorite. $24.95. Got a lot of people raving about this. And I tell you what, if you like the look of it on the cameras, you're going to love it when you get it home. You are going to absolutely adore it. Huge congratulations. Tonya, you've got yours. Suzanne's joined me, Margaret and Sue. Of course, every single piece that you have, every single strand that we're going to offer you within this this offer will be different. Every single one will have its own qualities of maybe the peacock's plume or that a wonderful rainbow spectrum, amylite-like luxuries. You've got this all to look forward to as it's delivered to your door for just $24.95. You've got that strand. Huge congratulations. Wonderful, wonderful. I can't just... exceptional. Straight to, now we've had a couple of requests for these and I'm rather pleased to say that I'm the one who gets to bring them to you because the requests have been literally just besieging us when it's based on this particular neckline must-have. These are your necklace collars. Now, those of you who like your torque necklaces, these are basically a thicker version of your torque style necklace. You can see they're 3mm. We often do torque necklaces with your 1 or your 1.5, 2 mil gauge, but these are 3 mil, so they have just that little bit stronger structure. Nice if you like to work with larger pendants and you want to be creating, especially from this morning's inspiration from Claire. Great to be able to do a feature pendant that you can then add as a centre drop to your collar. Now these are silver plated with a brass foundation. I'm going to pop it straight to the neckline so you can see it. Now I will show you the way that they connect as well because it's a pretty funky connection, but let me just show you how it looks against the neckline first. I've got loads of little scratches on my neck from Frankie. Because when I feed Frankie, she's in that phase where, you know, when babies go through that phase where they kind of claw at you.
Yeah, and they're tiny little nails.
That's it, and there's that satisfaction when she's drinking and she's kind of doing this. So I've got little claw marks on that. I was just going to say, when I said claw marks, that makes me sound like I have a really interesting life, doesn't it? Oh, I have claw marks. No, I don't. It's just a baby. Take a look. Now you're getting 5 in a pack. I will just quickly show you the connection at the back so you can see how they lock on. Really simple. Click and lock. I'll show you that again. Simple as click and lock. And 5 of them for one price tag. Think about how many different designs you can inspire. Oh! You were being naughty today. Friday Frenzy, Dion, my producer. When you think about what you're getting for $6.95, how many different pieces of jewellery you can inspire yourself to create. And I think, you know, I've talked about having a centerpiece pendant, but how about weaving? You know, we've worked with weaving today, haven't we? What about weaving your metal over the top of that? Creating something a bit different with maybe a heartbeat-like pulse of up and down, undulations of wire weaving off that main base torque style necklace. £6.95 is all you're paying. Mavis, you've got yours, and congratulate loads. I don't think anybody was quite expecting that price tag. I don't think anybody was quite predicting for us to take 5 of these to £6.95. And you know, in some ways, you could create this look for yourself. You can do your own torque style necklaces with our higher gauge wires. But in truth, for this price tag, God, make your life easy. And
to have that mechanism, that absolutely perfect mechanism at the back.
Isn't it?
Could, I mean, yeah. And for you to get that, it would be, you know, that's, I think it would be impossible for you to hand make that.
And I do think to myself, if you want to get a really stylish contemporary look, this is a perfect way to begin, isn't it?
Absolutely,
this is a perfect way to begin, to then add to it. How would you add to this then?
When I've worked with them, so I've done either hanging a gem off it, just a simple, on a ball head pin, and you can just add a gem. If you've got a beautiful enough gem and it's simple like that, or you can add wire writing, so I've put my name on it and you just hang it off, so 2 little loops. So there are words we're going to do later, and so you could use them for that. I mean, I mean, all the pendants from, you know, that we did on the first demo. I mean, anything, absolutely anything.
But if we wanted to perhaps use this as, rather than as just as a focal point from down here, what about if we wanted to do a fan-like design? Would that work?
Yes, absolutely, because you would use a similar technique to, if I pass you over, can you see how those little gems on there are wired on around the heart? So you would just get, you would just do that type of effect. So you maybe get your 0.4 or your 0.6 wire. And you know, so like the frame of the heart with the gems, so you could just wrap all the way around. So you'd anchor at the top and then just sort of wrap, and it's just a straightforward wrap. It's not, you know, so nothing complicated.
Do it like that, so that it would sit just off the edge there. That would be fab, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that idea, because I think sometimes when we think of these, we do think of pendants, don't we? We've got a single pendant. Actually, I think at the moment, especially if you follow fashion and you've been watching the likes of, you know, obviously it's been Fashion Week, London Fashion Week last week, and if you have been, it's been much more about draping the whole neck. It's not been about like the centre neckline. It hasn't been just about the focal point here. It's about draping the whole neck. And that's because quite a lot of the fashion at the moment coming into spring and summer is going to be very much about exposing the upper part of the body, you know, having your shoulders out. So if you've got your shoulders out, it's nice to have a definition to highlight the neckline, and you've definitely got the chance to be able to do that with these. So $6.95, I really rather like these. Actually, I'd wear it without even anything on. I like it just as a plain collar. But then, you know what I'm like, I'm a bit of a plain Jane, aren't I?
But there's a lot of that, isn't there? There are a lot of those in the high street shops at the moment, just like that, just like that.
And a lot more expensive,
a
lot more expensive. £6.95 is all you pay, $6.95. Now, I've had a few messages in. I showed you some tanzanite, not just some tanzanite, but the tanzanite of the moment. And I've had a lot of messages in asking time. Coming up within the hour is the answer. And if I hold it like this, normally with a tanzanite strand, we'll get maybe a range of shades of colour, of which the darker colours are going to be a small smattering. This is a full strand of rich, tone-based quality tanzanite. We'll talk about what tone is, what is saturation of colour, because in the gem world, when you're training like I have as an accredited jewellery professional, there are different types of colours that you get inside a stone like this, and that's based on saturation and based on tone. And so, as I say, we'll talk about that later on. Got to be one of the finest, richest tones that we have, though, within our tanzanite collection. So that is to look forward to within the hour guaranteed. Before that, though, I have something a bit special to offer you. Never have I seen in a kit this gemstone, and never do I expect to see it again. I can pretty much guarantee that the deal that we're about to broker for you in terms of this kit is going to be a one-off based on one specific strand alone. Have a look at the kit and see if you know what I'm talking about. I'm going to give you just a second. I just want you to have a look, and I want you to see if you know what I'm talking about. You've got your rose quartz. You have your peridot in your graduated rounds. You have your additional seed beads of incredible addition. We are also bringing you this strand. This strand here. And I'm don't worry, if you don't know what gemstone it is, don't worry. this is very special. This is green apatite. But not just any kind of apatite. To my eye and to my experience of this gemstone, this to me has every kind of indication, every expectation to my knowledge of this gemstone to have the colouring that I'd grade as Mandrera apatite. Rare is an understatement. To define this gemstone in terms of size, if you get anything more than a point, and I do mean 0.15 of a carat of Mandrera or green apatite at all, you are getting a luxury opportunity. This strand alone is 30 carats of apatite. 30 carats of one of the rarest natural phenomena of the jewellery world. This gemstone here, if you're talking about blue apatite, if you talk about turquoise apatite, it's highly sought after. It's a gemstone that has the parallels of Paraiba tourmaline. If you start to define the rarity of apatite in much more specific terms, 3%, in fact they often these days say less than 3% of all apatite found is green. And of that green apatite, the highest quality is the colour that you're seeing right here. This, for me, has so many hallmarks of being the quality of a Mandrera-like green of apatite. Oh, and Jane's already there. She says, got mine. Can't wait to see it in the flesh. You are so lucky, so lucky. I could tell you right now that I can sell in a standard piece of jewellery a single stone of this grade of gemstone for hundreds of pounds. And I do literally mean hundreds of pounds. So if you do want to join me, if you do want to own this incredible addition to this kit, then I'd suggest you get it sooner rather than later. I've got Gaina saying, good morning Vicky, Claire and crew. It looks very much like cat's eye. It does have an Alexandra-like look. Totally right, Claire, you're right, it is stunning. But in terms of this, we are talking about a gemstone that is normally paralleled not so much to Alexandrite but actually to Paraiba tourmaline. The luxury of this gemstone, though, doesn't need any parallels to any other gemstone other than to what it is. Rarity of green apatite, less than 3% of all apatite ever sourced in the world right now. This gemstone is most certainly an incredibly rare addition, green apatite. And together, on top of your apatite, rose quartz, which we know is a massive must-have these days because of our Pantone of the year colouring. This is the colour of the year. Pantone has released its colour of the year alongside Serenity. You have also got rose quartz. Adding to that, you are so lucky to get your peridot strand. And to top it off, we're adding in your seed beads of quartz. Now that, for me, is a rather outstanding culmination of gemstone up. Now I could stop there and I'd be really happy with the price tag that I'm about to offer you just for the gemstones. I would be comfortable, especially with the apatite. As I say, I can tell you yesterday I sold an apatite yesterday, green apatite, and I can tell you now, sitting into gold, it wasn't a double figure price. Let's just put it that way. We were well into the triple figure pricing for a single stone of green apatite. So with that in perspective, in gold, you know that this is a gemstone you can't afford to miss out on and not work with and not have in your jewelry collection. But I'm not stopping there. It's not just the gemstones that you're getting, because on top, we are bringing you 100 meters, yep, 100 meters of your rose gold plated copper wire. Look at that, isn't that such a pretty colour? Then on top of that, you are getting a further 10 meters of your 0.4 mil gauge. Adding to that, you are getting 0.6 mil gauge in your silver, that's your 10 meters, and a further 10 meters of your 0.8 mil gauge, excuse me, in your silver. That's all together 100, 110, 120, 130. 130 meters. Just to clarify the graphics, it does say 140. I do apologise. That's just a graphical mistake. It's 130 meters of wire. At the end of the day, you're getting over 100 meters of wire, which is pretty phenomenal when you consider how much jewellery you can make from even just 1 meter, but you're getting 130 in this deal. It's a very rose garden. I feel like it's a quintessential
like
English,
yes,
isn't it? I feel like we should sing in an English country garden.
Yeah, it makes you feel like we're like properly going into spring, doesn't it?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes, please. We have got here this wonderful combination, and the jewellery that you're going to see that you can make from this kit, well, I think it's fair to say, is going to rock your world. Black quartz, peridot, green apatite. Green apatite. I'll say that again one more time for those collectors out there. Green apatite. Plus, you've also got your Pantone colour of the year with your rose quartz. 130 metres of wire. One price tag, under £30. Just like that. $29.95 is all you pay. And I already, you know, before I even introduced this kit, I had people buying it just based on I keep on calling it Mandrera, based on that wonderful green apatite. And just saying to my eye and to my trained, I guess it's just experience, the colour that I'm seeing there is so synonymous with the Mandrera location. It's a green apatite of high luxury colours. Beautiful. But that's just ingredients. You wait till you see the jewellery that you're going to be able to make. Knocking your socks off is an understatement. We are genuinely going to just knock you so. How many pieces of jewellery did you make in the end?
Oh, I haven't counted, but it looks quite a lot here, doesn't it? And I haven't broken into the second sample either, so.
Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 21 pieces of jewellery in one kit, and you've still got wire left.
I've left the big reel at home, so look at all that. Still got all that left.
And you've got still gemstones left.
Yeah.
21 pieces of jewellery.
I know.
For $29.95 and more to be made.
Yeah. It's not bad going, is it?
Now, do you understand that you can't afford to miss out on this kit? You just can't afford to, can you? Especially when you're working with green. Have you worked with green apatite before?
Never.
Did you know you were working with it when you got?
I had a look because it's a green like nothing else, isn't it? It's I don't know. It's not an emeraldy or it's not a peridot. It's a standalone. It really is a fantastic green. Yeah.
And when you consider the scarcity of apatite as an umbrella of a gemstone, to then take it to 3%.
That's it, yeah.
That's it. They say that, you know, and that's at the max, they say 3%. You know, that's giving you that's overindulging in that.
So that's why I mean, I've put it as sort of like the strand on the bracelets, just because I wanted you to see, although it's sort of wire writing rings, just so you can see just how many gems you actually get in there. But I also really like it, and you know the ring that you're wearing, where you just take a couple or just a few. And I just think sometimes when you do that, it makes it look very, very precious.
And that gorgeous seed bead black quartz,
it just pops, doesn't it? It makes everything, all the other colours pop.
Yeah, that does just make it pop, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The black against the green, that quartz is just fab. Well, $29.95. The quantity was decent. I'd suggest it's definitely not going to be enough for the amount of jewellery that you're going to be making. I know there'll be a lot of people who are savvy enough to identify that this is a kit you can't afford to miss out. Look, is that my name?
Yeah, I did a quick one then. I just did a quick one then.
Say my name. Say my name. Yay, that's me. That's cool. I love you. Oh, that
so
is so
we've got a D there,
fab.
yeah, so we've done D.
There's D.
Should have a Cass as well, and Ollie.
Oh,
Kerry.
look. I've got Babe. Oh, that's lovely. What are you going to do for us?
I thought we'd do then, so I thought we would do, if we do the word baby, because that's quite a useful word for people, and then we can see how we can put it into a ring shape.
Let's do that.
So I've also done the baby.
Have I just taken that out short? Sorry, Ollie.
I've also done the baby as the with the capital B for your bracelet as well.
So we're going to learn how to wire write, essentially.
We are. We're going to do the baby, which is really great for you know, it's obviously you can do rings, necklaces, bracelets. You know, if you do your cards, things like that. So it's really versatile.
Lovely for baby showers.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah.
What a great idea. That is so cool. So cool. So,
okay,
what kind of lengths do we need to work with for a ring?
For a ring, I would say at a maximum, you'd probably only need maybe about 20 centimetres or so. But I always just think, especially with your wire writing, well, any sort of jewellery making, but especially with your wire writing, because it is so obvious. If you haven't cut enough wire, you're not going to be able to finish the word. So there's very, very few ways that you can actually add in. So always go with a little bit extra, and you can, you know, you always find little uses for the scraps that you've got anyway.
And when you've got a deal like this for 130 metres for less than £30, you don't have to be too worried about how much is costing you, do you?
Yeah, very much so. So yeah, so I'm going to work with the point 8, and with your wire writing. Obviously, I always say when we do wire writing demos, you know, if you start off larger, get a feel for the way that you're going to bend the wire, get a feel for the wire, and then sort of reduce down. So obviously with a ring, this is going to be the smallest sort of wire writing. So we're going to be using, as you'll be able to see, so we're using just standard tools again, so our round nose pliers, chain nose pliers, and our flush cutters. But we'll probably tend to work more with sort of this area of the pliers, rather than if we were doing it on a larger scale, we'd probably sort of work down at the widest point. So it's essentially all the same principles, but you're just scaling it right down. So if we start off, so we're going to do the word, we're going to do baby. So what I want to do, whereas normally I might start here when I do my initial loop and I start doing my wire writing, what I need to leave, I need to be essentially leaving a tail at this end and a tail at that end, because I want to be creating my ring shank with these pieces. So I'm going to be starting my wire writing in sort of like a central place. So it's slightly different to how we might do it normally. So all you would just have to bear in mind is that you're going to have a little bit of weight at this end rather than just nothing. So it takes a little bit of getting used to, but it's not a you know, it's not going to make that much of a difference. So if we're starting off, so as always with the wire writing, I'm going to start with just an initial loop. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a loop, and I'm going to be, if you have a look, I'm working quite near the top, the narrowest point of my pliers. So if I just bring this one so you can see how it's going to, where we're going to start. So we're starting off, I'm going to start off at this end. So we're going to start with that, just that initial loop. So if I bring that round, so I'm going to just, so I'm putting all the pressure in this hand and I'm bending this round. So I'm going to start with my little loop there. So I know I've got enough of a tail to create the shank, and I'm coming all the way up. So you can see, so I've gone a little loop and then back to that baseline. Yeah. And this is what I call the baseline here, and that's where I'm trying to keep it nice and straight and neat, so that the bottom of each of my letters comes onto that line. So if I start off there, so I've got my first loop. So what I want to do now, I'm going to come up to the B. So I'm just bringing that wire straight up. And you can see how this wire is so malleable, but when we look at it like that, when I've been working with it through my pliers, I've got much more of a strength, because by working it and manipulating it, I work hard in it at the same time. So going up. So I'm going to swap my pliers over to my chain nose pliers, and I'm going to be working out the height that I want all of the letters to be.
And so, do you do it by eye?
I do it by eye. I mean, there are different ways.
Could you measure it?
You could measure it, and what you could also do, if you find it helpful, is to write it out on a piece of paper, and then sort of, so you would do a little bit of your wire work and put it down on the paper, and you could do it like that. But I always, you know, in the same way when we set the gemstone, if you've got sort of you want this to marry up with your finger, so you want the scale to be correct. So you wouldn't be sort of just doing something at this height, because then you could do it beautifully, but when you put it to what its purpose is going to be, it's going to be, you know, no. Yeah. So if we go, so I'm going to use my chain nose pliers. So what I want to do, I want to be coming now, I'm going to grip when I've decided the height, and I come all the way back. So if we look at it from that point, I've come all the way down the back of the first wire. And what I want, when I'm looking at from the top, although I've got the thickness of the 2 wires, I want the illusion of the 1 wire from the front. So I'm just, to get that, I'm just going to squidge, just give it a little crimp. So I'm using sort of right down into my chain nose pliers where I've got that big surface area, so I've got much more control of the wire there, and I'm just pinching the 2 together. So when I look from the front, I've just got the one wire. So I'm coming back down now. So by doing that, so I've created the vertical, and my wire is now in the right position for me to continue that B. So I'm just going to grip those 2 wires now, and I'm going to just start to curve round. So you can either, and I'll show both ways, so you can either use your nail if you wanted to, just to get that little curve round rather than angles, because we're looking at now the round part of the B. Or you can drop in and use your round nose pliers and use that as a mandrel. And that, if you wanted to do that, that's absolutely no problem, because then you will get consistent, uniform. So if I just wrap it all the way around, you can see you're going to get a very, very neat result. But what you're trying to aim for is, if in exactly the same way with your handwriting, so if you've got the full height of the letter here, you would be aiming for about halfway for all these, because that would be the same as sort of almost like a lowercase. So what I would probably do there is I would just drop that in a little bit. So I'm just going to pull in and get that so it's really connected nicely. And now I need this wire to be going in this direction to go into my next letter. So in the same way I did with the vertical, I need to try and make sure that this secondary wire, if I show you from that point, the back, is going to sit nicely behind this point. So I'm just going to bring that round, and I might need to just give it a little pinch there so that it's sitting, so that when I look at it from the front, it just looks like I've got 1 wire. Although we know if we turned it all the way around, we've got different depths, if you can see that we've got different depths there. So you can also see a B and a D, it's essentially formed in the same way, you just obviously reverse it.
For those of you who are watching right now and you're interested in wire writing, and you know this is just the start of the tutorial really of how you wire write. There is a DVD that Claire's created, and if you do want it, all I can tell you is that for those people who have got it, the reviews are raving about how great it is. Step-by-step tutorials with Claire. The messages are coming through already. Leanne, she says, morning, Claire's wire writing DVD arrived yesterday, and what can I say? Wow, great instructions, easy to follow. One downside, you don't sign it. Oh, you didn't sign it.
Thanks, Leanne.
Oh, bless.
Thank you.
I must say, that's just one of the reviews that we've had for this DVD. Everybody is so very, very complimentary.
Oh, thank you. That's
and
lovely.
rightly so. You've got step-by-step, easy instructions on how to do wire writing, varieties of different things. And you know, as much as we're doing like a small amount here, this is basically the Bible to get the best results, isn't it?
Absolutely. And we do, you know, quite a few. There are quite a few different projects on there. So it's not just rings. It's sort of, you know, necklaces and loads of different words, key rings, things like that. So yeah, do a lot of them.
Lots to it. It's only £4.95. So if you do want to be inspired, the hour-long DVD that you have here with Claire is available right now. If you do want to add to your order, if you've got the kit and now you want to add, you know, make the most of that 130 meters of wire that we gave you with the kit, then this is the DVD to add to your order for just £4.95. It costs one postage and packaging for the whole day. So we've done our B.
Okay, so we've done our B. So now we're going to move on to our A. So there are different ways of doing an A, but because this is going to be on such a small scale, I'm going to keep it to sort of the most simple ways of doing it. So what I want to do now, in the same way with the handwriting, I want to think about my spacing so that it's as neat and as easy to read as possible. So I'm going to do exactly the same as I did for that B. I'm going to use the widest part of my round nose pliers as a mandrel. So I've just sat it on the baseline, and I'm going to push up and use the pliers as my mandrel like this. I'm going all the way around. So I know if I go on the baseline, it should be the same height as that part of the B. So I'm going to move all the way around so that I'm coming now off here. So I created the round part of my A. So what I want to do now, I'm going to grip here, because that should keep, by gripping here within the, on my pliers, that should keep the shape of that, the circle. And then I can pull up that to a vertical. So you can see, so I've gone all the way up. Now what I want to do, I want to bring this wire back down, back towards the baseline. So I'm going to just grip to the side with my chain nose pliers and take down at the back. So if we look from the front, so I've now got a straight edge and it's coming at the back. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to just pinch here and bring that all the way down. So I'm coming back. Now when I get to about that point, I'm probably going to need to squidge that together. So I'm going to give it a little crimp, and I've now got the vertical sort of the stick of the A. So you can see we're coming down, so then I would just come back to my baseline. So I'm going to bring that up, and I'm back in the position to do my B here. So if I just do that. So now I've got a little bit, although I've come up, I've got a few kinks in this wire here. So all I'm going to do, I'm just going to go along in my chain nose pliers and just give that a few squidges along there, and that's just straightened up that vertical now. So if I just get that in line with the other B, so I'm going to come all the way now, and I'm going to go up and paying attention to the height of this, the line here on the B, because I want it to all be the same. And then I'm going to go back on myself. So again, in the same way we did the first B, I want that from the front to look to be the illusion of the one wire. So I'm going to bring that down using the widest part that I can. So I've got a nice big surface area on my pliers. Bring down to I'm back, and paying attention to the baseline, bring that round. So when I'm happy with about that, I'm going to swap my pliers over, put in the widest bit, and bring down and follow all the way around, all the way till I'm back to that baseline. So we've got our bab now. So again, we want a little space here. So what we're going to do to go up and do our Y. So I'm making the most of the really narrowest part of my round nose pliers, and I'm just going to push up. Ooh, I'm going to push up there. There we go. So I'm going up as a vertical. So again, I'm going to swap my pliers round. So I'm looking now, I want the height of this Y to come in line with the A and the B's. Yeah. So now I'm going to pinch here, and I'm just going to bring forward. So I'm going to bring that all the way down. So this would be exactly the same way as you would create a U now, if you wanted to do the letter U. So I'm gripping the two, so I've crimped from the sides. You can see that, so I've got the thickness of the two wires. I'm going to grip down in here and just bring up. Now you can see I've slightly misjudged that here, because I've got this big long tail here, and I've only just got enough, because I need quite a bit for the flourish on the bottom of the Y. So hopefully it'll be all right. So there we go. So now I'm just coming up. So I've got that, that little curve. Sorry, it's a jumpy one. So I've got the curve of the U, and then I'm going to just give it little presses in between my chain nose pliers to get that really nice, neat, straight line here. Then I'm going to come and bring it all the way down the back. And again, so crimp on that side. And I'm going to grip the two here, and then just with my nail or with your round nose pliers, I'm just going to bring that all the way around. Now I want the bottom of this Y to ideally be the same sort of height as I've got coming off the top of the round part of the B. So I just bring that down, and what I'd actually do is just to give that a bit of security, because remember we're going to be wearing this as a ring, and this is going to be for a giant's finger. I'm just going to bring that all the way round. So I've gone and almost done like a wrap loop around that Y. So now I've got a bit more structure, because otherwise, obviously wearing that, I mean, that's going to be way, way too big, but you get the idea. If you were doing that on a smaller scale, that is tempting to pull on things. But if you've got that bit there, you've got that extra security. So now what we're going to try and do is make it into a ring. So ideally that length would be much, much longer. So we'll have a little go, see if we can do it. So I'm just using my ring mandrel all the way around, and you're paying attention to sort of pushing the words against the ring mandrel, which is also going to work harden it even more, and you want to bring that all the way around. So ideally you would have that all the way around there as well. So we take that off. So what you would need to do now is I'm going to we take our tail, and I'm going to come off there at a bit of a right angle. So you can see there, so I'd have the ring shank going all the way around, and then at one end I'm going to take that, and then I just bring round, and I use this tail and go up through, almost like a needle and thread, and I'm just going to start wrapping around. And you can do this, so you'd ideally do this in equal size, just to keep it neat. So if you have 2 on this side, you'd have 2 on the other side. And bring that in, and then snip off. So when you're snipping off, ideally with your flush cutters, so we're going to snip off, and I want to just little rocking motion just to almost smooth that end in, because obviously it's going to be the ring. And then we're going to have to pretend that this was really not as it is. And I would do exactly the same on the other side. So I'm just curving that round. So if I show you one of the better rings, you can see you would aim to get that sort of, so that quite near the writing either side, so that you've got that double thickness of the 0.8, that you've got the idea.
And using the ring mandrel
absolutely
really does give you that guarantee of getting the right size, the right structure to whatever you require, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. Because it's just, it will change. If you definitely want that ring size, there is nothing else. You can't really use.
You can't use anything else. That's the thing. There's some tools that you can use something else as an alternative. But I think with the ring mandrel, it is that you need a ring mandrel to get the right size. We've got that ring mandrel that Claire's using right now for just £8.95. So if you do want to use it, the different levels of sizes you can see there, G all the way through to Z. So it gives you that real identity of standardly. Your rings, do you have a standard size that you work to?
I suppose I do. Not really. I suppose I do. Yeah. I mean, all different really, because I like to wear them on all different fingers.
Different fingers. We standardly find that N to O is the average size for going for your standard pointy finger, but then going up to RS, and onwards. If you want to have a little, oh look, Maureen. Baby, 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 oh, thought you would always be mine, Claire. This song is stuck in my brain after the baby demo. Oh, that's nice. Isn't that lush? So you have the ring mandrel for just £8.95. If you do want to join us, of course, don't forget adding to your order as many times as you like on £2.95, post and packaging paid once for the whole day, which makes it even easier to know that if you've got the kit, you get the mandrel, and you've then got the chance to make all of these incredible pieces. 21 pieces, I think we said, didn't we?
Yeah.
21 pieces that Claire's made out of this kit, and still had more to go. So you've got plenty of chance to explore wire writing, I mean, you've also created pieces like this within this section.
Because so with no wire writing, but because you've got all that wonderful, that 0.25, so you can do that really, really fine weave. And you've obviously got the structure as well. It was too good an opportunity to miss. I couldn't, because I love making flowers like that, so I couldn't resist not sort of showing off that wire of, that really fine weave. So yeah,
it really works well for that with that colouring. I think that really does make a difference. We've got a message from Deb. She says, "Oh, you're amazing! Loving your work as always. I'm going to watch your DVD at some point and make Flynn his name to go on his cage." Yeah,
Flynn's a little guinea pig. He's really sweet. Little white guinea pig.
Flynn the guinea pig is going to have his own. Yeah. I used to have, and I don't know whether I still, a Rocky the parrot. Now, Rocky the parrot was my biggest fan. And he used to watch all the time. Whenever I came on, he used to just copy everything I used to say. And the lovely couple sent me a video of him watching me, and everything I said, he'd go, and I'd go, wow, and he'd go, wow, wow, wow. We've got Stella as well. She's saying, I bought the DVD. I've never done wire work before. I made the heart keyring. Claire's such a good teacher. You will be amazed by what you can do. And I think that's the thing is that the breakdown of how to do it is it makes it so easy,
does make
doesn't
it really simple. But what's really lovely, and I was really appreciative to Stella because she sent me a photo of what she'd made. So the keyring, you know, it's wonderful to see when people put their own spin on it, so they do their own version. So she'd made her mum, it was obviously a larger to hang on a dressing table in a different colourway to the one I'd done on the DVD, and it looked amazing, you know. So yeah, thanks Stella, because that was lovely to see.
The Wirework DVD is available, and Dion's just said that the amount of messages we've got that are saying how great this DVD is. She said she just can't get.
That's a real relief, because I had I bought probably about 200, not really, but about 2. But I had, you know, when you get the FIFA, you know, when you have that, I didn't really, the FIFA review, and I thought, I can't give myself a review, can I? I was really tempted to.
Yes, she's amazing.
It's such a relief to know that people have enjoyed it and found it useful.
Yeah, Dion has said that the message, she can't keep up with how many people are positively responding. So if you do want that £4.95, it's available for the here and now. And as I say, maybe you could be the next person to add to the FIFO. If you have any comments on any of the things that you buy from us, we love hearing from you via our FIFO. We're really grateful for anybody taking the time to do so. I'll tell you what, you are going to find so many more superlatives that you've never thought of before if you get this next deal. If you are going to get anything today, I do genuinely believe it's going to be this next Star Buy. Standardly, Tanzanite is a gemstone of such huge variance. It's a gemstone, it's not like, for example, if we take a gemstone like peridot, we've just seen it in that landscape. Peridot, although it has some variety in terms of its colour qualities, you know peridot because it has a standard effervescent vibrant green with a golden undertone, and it doesn't really vary that much. It doesn't go lighter or darker. Tanzanite is the exact opposite to peridot. Tanzanite actually is one of the most dramatically variant gemstone that I think that you probably have available here at JewelleryMaker, because within it you can get the softest, lightest tone of blue and violet to then the richest dramatic shades of almost a salon blue. This gemstone challenges your aesthetics. It challenges the quality. This strand here, if we're going to go on that spectrum of where we sit in terms of range of colour, I'm taking you up here. I'm taking you right on that cusp of some of the best we've ever had. I'm not talking about the odd one or two that you might find in a shaded strand. I'm talking about the full strand is that depth of colour. Now, to be absolutely straight with you, you might be looking at this thinking that we've enhanced this in terms of our camera work, or in terms of the lighting scenario to get it this rich. No, not at all. Not at all. This is serious quality of blue, violets, and richness of colour that is like no other. Now, I would normally say, and I'll just hold this time just so I can get a close-up for Ollie, I would normally say in a standard strand of this length, around 18 centimetre strand, I would give you probably 2 or 3 like this, and then the rest would be a much lighter tone. I would take you more of the violets. That's what we'd normally expect from a strand of Tanzanite. I am honoured, absolutely honoured, to give you a full strand that is based on that depth of colour. Now, when you start to grade saturation of colour within a gemstone, you're grading it from 1 to 6 with the GIA. The Gemological Institute of America would standardly grade the saturation of colour, which is the depth of colour, the level of colour, the way that the colour is based on. Okay, so for example, if you were going to talk about the saturation of colour of yellow, think of 1 being the colour of butter and 6 being a neon vest. That would be how you does that level of colour range. So on this, if we're going to talk the saturation, the level of 1 to 6, what are you going to grade this as? If 1 being the lightest shade of saturation and 6 being the deepest, what would you range this as? Think about the tanzanite we've previously seen. Normally, I'd say the range that we've seen previously, probably 2 to 3, 4 if you're lucky. I'm saying this is heading towards 5, and that's me being conservative to the quality of saturation of tanzanite shades that you're seeing here. This is a truly outlandish full strand of fully saturated colours of tanzanite. And as I say, I'm thrilled when I bring you 1 or 2 of those in a strand, but to get a full 18 centimetre strand available to you right now at the price you're about to see, it is a standout offer. $59.95 is the price you should be paying. I would normally say $59.95 for 1 or 2 of this colour with then a lighter tone, but no. $59.95 drops, plummets and dives to $44.95. It is a brand new star blue, as our Dion classifies this as. It is a definite deal. In terms of what you're getting here, you've got to get it home. Perhaps if you've already got a strand of tanzanite at home, put it alongside and see what I mean by that definition of saturation. When you talk about saturations of blue, tanzanite like this, it is a collectible gemstone at this grade, at this level of intensity. And as I say, grading it on 1 to 6, as you would as the GIA have trained me to do so, then I would say I would be very comfortable in saying that the level of saturation on this one would be graded between 1 to 6. I'd be happily, 5? Yeah, I'd say 5. That's how rich in blue it is, and that's why this is a standout offer. Get it home, see for yourself, look at the quality for yourself. If it's not right, send it back. If it is, well, I have to say to you, you know that you've got yourself an awesome, awesome chance to really make a difference. And making a difference with tanzanite is so easy with your jewellery, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, guest designer Jan, she sells a lot of her jewellery, and and she'll put a few in with pearls, and that's what I'm seeing when I look at that strand. I mean, that strand, it's very, very different, isn't it, to other strands? I mean, the size of it and the sparkle that's coming out, that saturation of colour, that's a very, very special.
And you know why you've
strand.
said sparkle? Because the saturation is stronger than normal. You wouldn't normally say sparkle to tanzanite, would you?
No, but
you don't normally say that. But can you see that?
Yeah. From
that's
here,
because there's a deeper grade of saturation, and of course it's a little bit like anything. Think of a black diamond. The reason that a black diamond is so lustrous is because the base colour is so reflective. That's why this is deeper colouring. Therefore, the lustre will be more prominent because the light is reacting off the surface much more intensely. $44.95, some of the most rich base qualities of colour that you have of $44.95. Now, you know how we just talked about the spectrum of colour of saturation, right? Take a look at this and tell me what grade of saturation we're looking at here. Exactly. It's a different gemstone, and therefore what you're looking for is a much lower saturation of colour, because that therefore allows the highest grade of diaphanity. What is this gemstone? It can be only one stone. Of course, it's the inevitable beauty of aquamarine.
There are 2 easy ways you can purchase from JewelleryMaker. You can watch our show on Sky, Virgin, Freeview and Freesat, and call our free phone number where you'll be put through to our friendly help team who can place your order. Alternatively, you can go to our website and click to register. Once you've filled in the required details, you can start shopping. You can watch the show by clicking on the Watch Live Show button on the homepage. You can also use our quick search tool and narrow down your results. Once you have found an item that you like, simply click on the Add to Basket button and you can continue shopping or check out right away. Don't forget, you can add as many items to your basket per day for only one P&P. Enjoy shopping with JewelleryMaker.
We here at JewelleryMaker love to hear your feedback. So working in conjunction with FIFO, a global ratings and reviews provider, when you purchase a product from JM, you will receive an email asking you to rate our service and our products. This helps us to bring you excellent customer service and ensure we're bringing you value for money and high quality goods. Have your say with JewelleryMaker FIFO reviews.
When you place your first order with JewelleryMaker, we'll send you a free DVD and booklet to help you get started. The booklet is jam-packed full of information on gemstones, tools, threading, materials and findings. There are step-by-step instructions on how to make bracelets, earrings and necklaces, and the DVD includes easy-to-follow video tutorials. So what are you waiting for? Start your jewellery making journey today.
Join resident designer Sheila for our Bridal Headwear for Beginners DVD. Sheila will guide you through an array of beautiful bridal designs, including a pearl tiara, the star hair comb, a twisted spiral tiara, and much more. This DVD is packed full of inspiration and helpful hints and tips. To get your hands on a copy, contact our call centre on 0800 644 655.
Did you know that no matter how many times you purchase with JewelleryMaker in the same day, you'll only be charged one postage and packaging fee?
A phenomenal example of two of the most important aspects that you want to find in any clear gemstone is sitting inside this whole strand, not just in one or two of the gemstones, but actually in every one of these gemstones in this strand. You are getting the finest reaction of internal light. You're getting here a bewildering arrangement of movement of light that is graded within a sense of pure movement. Now, let me explain. I'm trying to think of the best way. Okay,
So when you start to look at a gemstone like this, the one thing that you go is, wow, it just doesn't stop sparkling. And that's exactly what that's exactly what you want to see from this gemstone, sparkle. But it's not really just sparkle. It's what we'd classify as scintillation. Now, scintillation is based on the diaphanity of the gemstone. Now, diaphanity is how the light moves through the stone. And as it moves through the stone, look, can you see there? Can you see when you get that close-up, how the light is not just sparkling, it's moving. And we often talk about the life of a gemstone when it has that pulse, that energy of movement inside it. That's what this gemstone has. So we would say, gosh, it really sparkles, but actually it's not just sparkle. This is scintillation, like a diamond that just dazzles your senses. And when you get that scintillation, you're appreciating the clarity of the gemstone. You see that there's a diaphanity, so the light can move and shift. If we had lots and lots of textures inside this gemstone, you would see nowhere near this amount of dazzle. If you didn't have a higher grade quality of stone like we source for you, you wouldn't see this potential of almost diamond-like luxuries of scintillation and shine. And that's what makes this such a wonderful strand, because what we've done is we've seen the quality and we've gone, well, we know exactly what we need to do. We need to cut to release the natural beauty of the stone. And if I just take this gemstone just in the center, I mean, just look at the faceting detail, checkerboard detail that you've got there, sometimes known as the pineapple cut, because you have so many gorgeous triangular and diamond-like facets that then just allow that movement of sparkle to just be optimized. And that's what faceting a gemstone is about. It's faceting to release the natural potential of the gemstone to really make the difference. How many times do we see strands of this quality dazzling away of aquamarine? Not very often at all. We often see it in perhaps a more of a textured quality, but this is not that. This is what I mean by getting graded luxuries of sparkle, getting that light movement running throughout the gemstone, dazzling, scintillating. And not just sparkle. I think sparkle is perhaps what you'd get from a synthetic gemstone. This is the real deal. These are genuine gemstones. Scintillation, you get the life, you get that real wow factor, something that you just can't replicate in anything other than in Mother Nature. And you've got this luxury strand, absolutely outstanding quality of clarity and diaphanity, movement of light, allowing us to really see that sparkle that is beyond just a classic sparkle. It's so much more than that. And you've got this look, you've got this strand for one price tag only. And that price tag is $29.95. $29.95. Absolutely awesome opportunity. Hang on a minute. $29.95 for 65 carats. What does that work? Is that less than 50p a carat? That has to be more. What? Less than 50 pence a carat? 46p. Dion's just done the workings out for me. 46 pence per carat. I mean, when you consider that if I sell, say for example, in a piece of jewellery sitting into gold, what about if I sat this into a carat, 1 carat stone into a beautiful piece of jewellery? I'd be expecting to sell for what? A good £50 to £100 for a feature piece of jewellery like that, and you're here at $29.95 for 65 carats, each carat costing you less than 50p. An amazing deal. What's this say? Got a strand like this the last time it was on. My birthstone, and fabulous. Of course, it's March's birthstone, and this is going to be a great gift potential. Couldn't be a better time in gift terms. Using the birthstone really does make a difference. Really does make a difference, doesn't it? Huge look. A
sparkle, a sensation of quality. Certainly not what we'd say is our standard look of aquamarine, because that definition of clarity and that, as I say, the way we've cut that, we are just optimizing the movement, the light play, the dazzle. Huge opportunity. This is a great way to really give that something special to somebody special. As a birthstone, you couldn't get finer. And even if you wanted, as you may have noticed with when Claire was making that gorgeous baby ring, did you notice that there was one little extra charm that she put on? Did you put a little charm on the baby?
Yeah.
I mean,
that
those
would be fantastic, wouldn't it? Yeah. So
maybe a baby born in March.
Yes.
And you're just adding one of those as March's birthstone. Because you don't have to use all of these in one piece of jewellery, do you?
No, it's like, you know, like I said, I think sometimes when you separate them out, they almost look more precious then, don't they? Because you're seeing all of that surface area and really concentrating and honing in on that one gem.
These would be superb as a drop to the neckline when you're adding an extender chain and you've just got one. And I often like to have my extender chain a little bit longer than normal because it then drips down the neckline. It just looks a little bit prettier, you know.
With that movement, because it's moving all the time, so you'd really get that they would really pop.
Back to those silvers as well, isn't it? Back to those silver.
That's exactly what I was
connectors.
thinking. You know, the two that are either side of the central gem.
These.
That's exactly what I thought. I thought I'd be doing earrings there with those two.
Wow, definitely. And Hilda saying, Hilya, is saying, it's my birthstone. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday indeed. It's definitely going to be a happy day if you get a strand like this. That's for sure, definitely. And we've also got a message in from Lorraine, and she says, morning all, these are gorgeous. And my birthstone will have to wait till payday though. Ooh, don't wait. Don't wait. I'm only saying don't wait because actually in terms of quantity, we don't see this type of strand very often, do we, of this grade. It might be worth getting sooner rather than later. I don't want you to come back to us and say, can I have that strand? And the answer potentially could be no. I rather like the code on this one. I like the code. Stud 94. I'm Stud 94. We got another Angelique's message in. Good morning, Vicky, Claire, and JM crew. Some stunning gemstones this morning. The labradorite is wow, wow, wow. Yes, actually, the aquamarine alongside the labradorite. That would be a great combination, wouldn't it? That really would be a fantastic combination. You would have the sparkle of the aquamarine alongside the labradorescent undulations of reflective qualities in the labradorite. Great complement of gemstones. Congratulations. If you get either of those, both of those, I would certainly suggest using that 30-day money-back guarantee. Get home and see for yourself these high-grade gemstones. If they're not right, send them back. I can't imagine you will, but at least you know you've got the option. And I tell you what, how about we rejoice in some of your amazing creations in our Wall of Fame? Well, we have lots and lots of fantastic Wall of Fame entries today. And first up, we've got Wendy in South Wales. She says, well, at last I managed to get a bead scoop. I was so excited, thought I would show you what I made with it. I did add some peacock pearls in the pendant, but still have beads left. I do love the odd earrings as they match my personality. Great value for money. Lovely to have Carol back. We really missed her. Brackets you, and I'll pass that on to her. She is she'll be back on the screens tomorrow, I believe. Love Wendy, and Wendy's in South Wales. Wendy, what an amazing combination of gemstones that you've made from one bead scoop for your jewellery. Fabulous. Congratulations, you're 391.
Good luck. That's lovely. Again, lovely blue, Dion. 386, and this is Jill from Summerby. Says, dear all at JM, please find attached my most recent make as an entry for this week's Wall of Fame. A necklace made with a variety of polymer clay beads, teamed with Persian green druzy and silver plated beads and findings. As ever, all components are from yourselves. Good luck to all in the draw, and that's from Jill. How clever to make those beads. That's wonderful.
Love that. And I've got Sharon in Barnsley. A simple necklace, she says, made from a matrix box. Those matrix boxes are fab.
They really are. That's
and
lovely.
I like that.
Yeah, really lovely.
Right. Contemporary, really nice. That's my kind of jewellery. Lovely. 392 you are,
Good
Sharon.
luck, Sharon. So this is 387. Wow,
Clever.
I love this.
Very
brilliant. And this is Angela in Stirlingshire. It says, I would like to enter my first attempt, my goodness, a Tree of Life following this week's great programme with Laura Binding. I was so inspired, I just had to give it a go there and then. I'm so delighted with the result, and I'm happy to send this in as my very first Wall of Fame entry. I guess this won't be the last one you'll see from me. See from happy JMers like me. Thanks for the great ideas, and that's lots of love, Angela. That's wonderful. Good luck, Angela.
That's fab, isn't it? And I've got Lynn here. She says, here are the prettiest shade of purple rounds of quartz in a 3-piece set. The centre of the necklace and also the earrings are faceted purple banded agate. I love banded agate. She says, purple seems to be a colour everyone likes and suits all skin tones. Please enter it in the Wall of Fame. Absolutely, Lynn, already done. And I agree. I think purple does tend to, whatever your skin tone, it's a warmth of a colour, isn't it? You're quite right. 393 you are.
Good luck. I've got 388. It's a beautiful, beautiful wire work here, and this is hazel. It says, attached is a pendant I made using 2mm aluminium wire and an aquamarine nugget, a design copied from Jan. Findings and materials all from JM. I've had quite a few comments when wearing it. Well done, Jan. Good luck to all this week, and that's from Hazel. Oh, that's beautiful work, Hazel. Really neat.
Isn't it? Really lush.
Yeah.
And I've got Maria, and she says, it's been a while since I sent anything into the Wall of Fame, as I gave birth to my 3rd child in the summer and have been a bit busy. Tell me about it, Maria. 3 children is a bit of a juggle, isn't it? To tell you what, I have to say, I'm so impressed with you that you found time to make anything. I'm so impressed with you, Maria. She says, but here is a pic of a charm bracelet I made for one of my son's teachers at Christmas. Each child selected a gemstone to add, and the fine silver charms are engraved with the class name and year. The teacher loved it. I'm not surprised the teacher loved it. How clever are you? That's wonderful. Maria in London, what a lucky teacher.
Yeah.
If my teachers are watching, don't ever expect anything like that. Thanks very much, Maria. You're 394.
And this is 389. Someone's been very busy. This is Sue Brundle.
yes.
So, hi all at JM. This is my entry to this week's Wall of Fame. An assortment of sterling silver earrings using mainly the beautiful pearls, but also shell pearls, quartz and prehnite, all purchased from yourselves. The crystals are from my stash. I hope you like them as much as I enjoyed making them. Good luck to everyone. All the best. And that's from Sue. Yeah, good luck, Sue.
And I've got Laura. Laura, I love this. This is so my type of jewellery, so my jewellery. Hello, all at JM, she says. This is my first make with the lovely square wire. I used silver-plated spacer beads from one of your bead tubes on the middle section and added a clasp from a findings pack. I hope you like it. Yes, I do. I like it a lot, Laura. It's my kind of jewellery. She says, I have watched all the great designers work with wire, and I'm always inspired by what they are able to create. Thanks, as always, for the inspiration and great shows and products. Best wishes to all from Laura. Laura, you're the inspiration.
It's gorgeous.
Isn't that fab? It's such a funky piece of jewellery.
And how neat as well.
Yeah, I love that. I love channel set jewellery. I've got a real thing for channel set. I think it's because it's so neat. I do like that.
Yeah.
My life is so chaotic that I think perhaps just to have some neat jewellery makes me feel like I'm a bit organised. 395 you are, Laura.
So I've got 390 here. This is making me think about going away on holiday. And this is
yes, please.
Rita Markey. Says, hi, this is my entry for the Wall of Fame. Necklace and bracelet set made with aquamarine chips, blue-coated hematite and silver-plated copper findings, all from JM. I've made this set for my sister Peggy. It's her birthday on the 22nd of March, and the aquamarine is her birthstone. I really enjoyed watching the demonstrations by the ultra-talented designers at JM. Good luck to everyone in the draw, and that's best wishes from Rita. What a lucky sister, Peggy.
Sister, yeah. Happy birthday, Peggy.
Yeah,
we'll pass that on now. A little bit early, but you know.
Good luck.
Hey, better late than never. Or better early than never. There. We have for you a perfect pink showstopper coming up. It's the colour of this moment, right here, right now. If you got the aquamarine, then I have no doubt about it, to match alongside it, to get that serenity blue alongside the colour of the year, rose quartz. This is going to be the deal for you. These are going to be used to the max for your jewellery of the here and now. 2016 colour of the year. Wow. 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 Sorry, the light play on here, and I'm just checking. The reason I looked up, I was thinking, has the light changed? Has something just happened? I've got fire in this one. Yeah, there's not really a light behind me. That's what I was checking. I was thinking, there's something. Crikey. I mean, if we're talking quality gemstones today, we've had the kyanite rounds, we've had that amazing labradorite, we've had, of course, the apatite, we've had the aquamarine.
It has been luxury, hasn't it? Yeah, luxury gems.
And now, this is not just rose quartz, but this is breathtaking rose quartz. I feel like we're taking you to another stratosphere of graded luxuries of colour and qualities that are synonymous with this gemstone. This feels like it's... Is there such a thing of saying it feels like it's nurturing the light? You know, it feels like it's harnessing it, capturing it, like a light bulb. Do you see? It's like a pink light bulb. That's why I was checking behind me. I honestly thought that Ollie must have turned on a light behind me. I really did, because I was thinking, how's that suddenly happened? I've never seen a rose quartz. Brilliant to be able to sit here today and have this luxury of opportunity, and then of course to remind ourselves that this is the colour of the year. This is, according to Pantone, and Pantone are, well, essentially they are the gurus of colour when it comes to fashion. Whether you're working fashion in terms of clothes, handbags, shoes, or if you're going into even homeware, you know, anything like that, haberdashery, Pantone are the leading colour experts. They predict, and therefore when you are a designer, etc., you work with their influence, with their almost, they foresee, and they tell you what to work with, to be within that season, to work within the colours that are right here and now. And the colour that they've chosen is not just a colour for us, it's an actual gemstone, because it's rose quartz. That's what the colour is called, rose quartz. It's not just that it's rose quartz. It is a fully stacked strand of not just any kind of rose quartz. These are gemstones that have an effervescence about them. Rose quartz doesn't normally have effervescence, but these are like light bulbs of colour. These are truly wondrous. You have a range size of 7x5 to 13x6, fully loaded strand here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. 14 to get me to the centre, 15 actually probably. 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yes, okay, I'm saying about 30 gems you're going to get on this. That's what I mean by fully loaded. 30 light bulbs of the gemstone of the moment. Not just the gem of the moment, but the colour of the moment. And we are going to drop our price to give you the chance to get the colour of the moment. It's your showstopper price tag. Every boundary is being smashed today in terms of pricing to quality. Every boundary has been pushed beyond its limit. It's busy already, but it's getting busier as we go. Gosh, Diane, Suzanne, Sylvia, congratulations. Vidya, you've got yours. Catherine's joined me in Lanarkshire. Sheila's joined me there. Congratulations to you. Susan's in Lincolnshire. An outstanding outstanding arrangement. 30 feature stones I've counted on this strand. So let's work on the average that there's about 30. Well, that's over 2 carats per stone. And each one of those stones is going to have this capability of harnessing the light. This is not normal for rose quartz. Especially if you start to talk about, you know, the shapes we're used to seeing, you know, the rounds, perhaps we're used to seeing the likes of your ovals. We don't normally see these drops, where the drops seem to have like a little light bulb attached to them, don't they? Look. Holding those lights. Holding that light in a totally different way. It's busy, busy, busy. Queues on the lines. Everybody who's dialing now, don't forget you're through to us on a free phone number. 0800 644 655 is the number to dial. Join me at JewelleryMaker.com. I mean, I'm talking carat weight of around 2 carats per stone. But if we start to base that on price as well, $6.95. Averagely, we're going to say around 30 on the strand-ish. Let's say 30 then. Let's just say average and 30. What does that work out at? Less than 25p a stone? Less than 25 pence. And then use just one of those on a drop pair of earrings, one per ear. That's costing you 50 pence. 50 pence. You can't buy a packet of chewing gum for 50p these days. You know, that's the perspective. We're giving you genuine gemstones, and not just genuine gemstones of a standard quality. When I'm talking about a light that seems to be harnessed, nurtured inside these gems, you've got to see for yourself when you get these homes what I mean. But I think you can see that, can't you? It almost gives it a shiller. It's not a shiller because it's much more internal than a shiller, but it's just the way the light's harnessed, captured inside the stone. Absolutely fantastic quality, and not surprising. I've had people who bought one at the very beginning before we even talked about the price, brought the price in, and you've come back and you've bought 2s, 3s, and I've actually got some of our collectors buying 4s and 5s on this deal. That's how good an offer it is. £6.95. It is a showstopper deal. Absolutely. You know, I wanted to do that actually.
It looks lovely like that, doesn't it?
That looks good, doesn't it? That looks really good. And I would just add in, what other gemstone would you add in alongside?
Well, I was thinking it would go beautifully with the aquamarine that you've got. I mean, it'd be a beautiful addition to the last kit.
Yes, it would, with the pink wire, of course. But actually, I think you're right, the aquamarine. Because when we start to talk about the Pantone colours, this year, you probably know, this year, they've done something that they've never done before. And instead of having just one colour of the year, they've got 2 colours of the year to create one look. It is Serenity blue with rose quartz pinks. That combination, that is the look of the year. And I assure you, if you start looking in fashion, in haberdasheries, in homeware, wherever, fashion, handbags, accessories, you will see this combination, Serenity blues alongside your rose quartz colours. That's going to be a big look for the year. And if you're going to get both of these today, don't forget one postage and packaging, one P&P for the whole day. So $2.95 paid once. You can add all the way through the day and keep on making the most of this. Great complement of those 2 colours. Now, we've had a few people messaging in about the kyanite that we brought earlier on, the rounds. Now, the good news is that if you got the rounds, I've got another add it to your order offer as well, because I have these phenomenal ovals to add to your collection as well. Now then, we've talked about the light reaction inside a kyanite, but actually what we should be talking about here is the external reaction of light as well. In these expansive ovals, you've got something really, really special, haven't you? And you've got these coming up within this hour, I believe. So not long to wait at all to be able to introduce those to you. Going to go great alongside those amazing rounds. Now we've had quite a lot of requests. Oh, the rose gold tubes. Yes, we did have them, didn't we? Where have they gone? Oh, they're there. We've got them here because we did the gold, didn't we? The yellow gold finish. Well, now we've got the rose gold, and I'm just thinking, if you got the pink wire from the last kit. How about you then add these and make that channel set bracelet that we've just been inspired with? How about that? That would look gorgeous, wouldn't it?
On the,
pink
the wall of fame,
yeah, with the wall of fame. That would be glorious.
It would.
These are so versatile as an addition, and I know for a lot of our jewellery makers, they are as an essential as alongside a finding, you know, i.e. it's a sense of an essential, like a shepherd hook or a clasp, you know, to have them in your jewellery collection to rely on.
Absolutely.
It is a must-have.
Absolutely. I mean, I showed you that, you know, I carry them around all the time, so they are with my pliers, because that is how I view them, that if you are creating jewellery, there are times when you need to space them out, or you know, so separate your gems, or you just want that little bit, a flash of metal in there, that in amongst your gems, just to sort of, you know, finish off that design, and that is the only way you're really going to get it. So I think they are an absolute must.
It's a brilliant opportunity to really add to your jewellery detailing. And I know that you perhaps, you might have seen Mark play with these the other day, and actually you can squash them and you can almost double drill them.
Yes, I saw that. Really, genius idea.
Clever,
absolute
really
genius.
clever. So, you know, there is a chance to really work with these and find something new with them every time you play with them, every time you put them into a piece of jewellery. Explore new avenues. That's the lovely thing about JewelleryMaker, right? You can't go wrong, right? There's no right, there's no wrong. It's your jewellery. Don't forget the Mark Smith squish trick on those beads. Squish trick. That's Sally in Lincolnshire. You're quite right, Sally. I like this. Mark's squish trick. Mark, are you pleased that you've got a swish trick? $11.95 is all you pay for your 2 tubes, so you're getting both tubes. My personal feel about this is that if you got the yellow gold, you'd be foolish not to get the rose gold as well, because mixing metals is a real essential to jewellery making at the moment. In fact, I think probably the last 2 years it has just skyrocketed. I've got a beautiful 3-tone ring. Actually, it's 3 rings and over probably the last year or so, as I've worn it, I can't tell you how many compliments I get. I mean, over and over again, people say, oh, that's gorgeous. And I think it's because the 3 metals together they harmonise, but they also...
They complement each other, don't they?
Yeah, but they look so different that it works. That's what you could do with each one of these. If you got the yellow gold beads earlier on, you could also get the rose gold and perhaps mix and match alongside. $11.95 is all you're paying. 0800 644 655 is the number to dial, or alternatively join us at JewelleryMaker.com. The gold option of these same rondelle spacers are at the bottom there. That's VBAZ86. So that's your code there for the yellow gold if you want to match them together, both $11.95. So for what, just shy of £25, just shy of £25, you've got a lot of good looking jewellery to be made, that's for sure. And spacer beads like this, they're the kind of thing that until you start working with them, you don't really know what they have to offer. And once you start working, you'll think to yourself, how did I do without them? How did I manage without them? They are fantastic. Congratulations if you got those. Now then, the beryl, this one, not for that price tag. I've definitely got the right strand, because what price tag that you're saying, Dion, no, it's a long strand for what you're saying, is it? Okay. Dion's just told me a price. And now you've only got 73 chances. Just to be clear, right, I need to give everybody the info. I need to arm you with the tools that you need to know that there's only 73 chances on this strand. The price that Dion's just told me she can do on this, well, you just heard me. I wasn't picking up this strand for that price tag, that's for sure. It's probably pretty much double what we would normally expect this grade of beryl to be in terms of length. It's combining such wonderful shades of colour, whether you've got your aquamarines, You've got these gorgeous Goshenite, you've got some soft, delicate Morganite shades, you've got Heliodor as well with some gorgeous yellow tones as well. This is a full 29 centimetre strand. Now, normally this kind of strand would be 18 centimetres, so really, additionally, you're getting 10 centimetres just as a bonus. Now, normally an extra 10 centimetres of this quality of gemstone, you would actually have to obviously add on. Right. Web buyers are going crazy for this because they can see the price. And most web buyers who have bought so far like Alison and Byron Lincolnshire, Vivian, have multi-bought. They haven't just bought one. That just goes to show the price that we're about to do is undeniably impressive. Your price tag, it's a 29 centimetre strand, is $6.95. Foolishly low. Just absolutely outlandish. If you do want to join us, 0800 644 655, go. No, you're not surprised that there's multi-buyers. Not surprised at all.
I don't get that at all. Not at all. I just, because the length of the strand, but I'm seeing the colours are really jumping out from here. So, you know, you've got that length of strand and all those beautiful, you know, that colour saturation within that strand.
Leanne's just messaged, what?
Yeah.
Now, do you know why I was sat there? Literally, Kerry had put the strand to my side, and I was thinking, and Dion went, right, we're going to go to the barrel. And she told me the price, and I thought, well, like, that can't be the barrel. That can't be that price tag. So I've got to be, let me look around for another barrel. No. $6.95 for 29 centimetre strand. You're paying just $6.95. It's going to be a sellout. Hold the lines. Congratulations. It's time for a star buy. Kyanite. I love the fact that today you've had the chance to get the wonderful quality of kyanite in rounds, and then we offer you a quality in a totally different shape that exposes a totally different aspect of the gemstone. I love that you can tune into us, and you never know what you're going to see, but what you do know is you're going to see something different all the time, and that's what you have here. The open expanse, the surface area that you have in this kyanite brings you a totally different aesthetic quality to perhaps the rounds that we brought to you earlier on. 200 carats with an individuality of each stone, 24 by 17 millimetre. A regality that is unmatched, really. I think even if you wanted to try and compare kyanite to the likes of sapphire, in truth, most sapphire is going to have some kind of treatment to it. Normally, sapphire has some type of heat treating to it to maximise on its shades of blue. Here, no. This is kyanite that has that natural quality of beauty about it. You've got a real treat when it comes to getting a true blue. You have 200 carats in a feature size of ovals, and these are big ovals, aren't they? Wonderful, wonderful, true royal blue. And I think when you think of blue gemstones, most people do think of sapphire, but that's because sapphire is more readily available. Kyanite is way more difficult to get hold of. You won't walk past your local jeweller's boutique and see a kyanite very often. You'll see a sapphire, but that sapphire will be a lot more money. A lot more money. Whereas with kyanite, it's so difficult to get hold of. Most jewellers won't buy it in because it's so rare. And obviously we also now know, as we talked about when we've cut it in the rounds, it's such a challenging gemstone to cut that most places don't invest the time to cut the gemstone because it is so laborious in terms of the requirement of expertise to cut it to get the best out of it. If you do it, and you do it properly like we do, the results are phenomenal. And you've got the quality of this majestic size of ovals.
for $59.95, and we're going lower. It's blue. Let's not forget our Dion, my producer, she has a thing about blue, and that therefore means that the price goes lower. It doesn't matter what gem it is. If it's blue, it goes low. We know that. $44.95. $44.95 is all you pay for your 200 carats. The kyanite that we're offering you here, size-wise, it's about maximising, isn't it, in terms of size in a piece of jewellery with something of this calibre?
It is. I mean, I'm torn really with that strand, because I would either keep it all together and maybe use some of the spaces that you had and just have a really, really wow, really fascinating statement piece of jewellery, or because each one individually is so great, you could just completely separate them out, and with that shape, so you could just have it on a chain, couldn't you, as a bracelet, or just as a feature, just one. I mean, I think, when you feel like you've overlooked a gemstone and then you see it through fresh eyes. I mean, I think maybe I'm turning into Dion, that it's just like, because it's mesmerising, isn't it? You could just stare and stare at it.
And that's the thing about kyanite. And as I say, lots of people, if you say choose a blue gemstone, they choose sapphire. Ask a gemologist, they'll choose a kyanite. I can pretty much guarantee.
Yeah.
Any gemologist that I know of, any jewellery professional would standardly choose kyanite, because it has a purity about it. It has a rarity that is so exciting, but then its final results when you've got it sitting before you is mesmerising. Message coming in, Stella says, I have these ovals, they are amazing. If you like kyanite and you have the budget, don't miss out on these. Great show, Jewellery Maker. Thank you so much. Thank you, Stella. $44.95 is all you're paying. Hugely dramatic. I've got plenty of people getting involved there, and rightly so. Rightly so. Right, I was up against the wrist. I know there's a big deal going on with these. I know there is, because the first thing I looked at on the computer this morning was these, and when I saw them, and it was early doors, I did just go, yes, because you know what I like. I like big deals, don't I? I like big deals. I like big deals, and I cannot lie. Take a look at what you got. You got your silver, you got your gold, you got your black, and you've got your rose gold-plated copper infinity charms. Hang on a minute. Let me just check that I've got the right ones. Oh, I have. Hang on. I have. Let me get them out. 1, 2. And look at how many you're getting. 80 pieces. 20 in each colour. The infinity charms. I'm just showing you them so that you can see each one of them. Does that work? Oh, what a mistake at the maker. What a mistake at the maker. We'll try that again. Ta-da! Yes. So you've got your silver finish, you've got your gold finish, your rose gold finish, and your black finish as well. 80 in total, coming in the box as well. So that just gives you a little bit of a bonus. The storage boxes, I think, that we offer our findings in are pretty phenomenal when you consider the price tag of the overall deal is sometimes the price you'd pay for just the box elsewhere. You've got 80 of these infinity charms, and all for one price tag. That price tag, $14.95. Now the infinity charms, your eyes just
they do, because I had the choice of doing a challenge on the Late Show the other week, and they were on there, and I homed in on them straight away, because you can just so quickly use them for so many things, and really, really quick, easy make. So if you're selling jewellery, I would say they are a must to get, because you can just macrame, do little cord bracelets either side, and you've got your little stacker bracelets. They're so on trend at the moment. If you like your wire writing, it's the infinity love symbol. So if you're doing cake toppers, bridal pieces, anything like that, brilliant for it. And then you've got all those different colorways of metal. So you've got, you tick all boxes really. So it's going to go with all your findings that you've got, especially gunmetal. So it could be unisex. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
And I was just looking at that combination. I put them together because I was thinking, if you wrapped each one of these together, you could make a funky bracelet.
Yes.
And again, those different the different metal types just is so on what's the word? On trend.
I mean, even if you don't look at it like an infinity symbol, it's a beautiful link. It's an absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
So the other thing I did was, you know, when we spoke about, you know, like the rose spacers that you had, the sterling silver. So if you put your beading thread and your gems through each one, they sit. So they work as a brilliant, really, really nice finding as well.
You could make them like a cuff bracelet as well, couldn't you? If you played it like that.
Yeah.
And if you used your jump rings, so even if you didn't want a wire wrap, you wanted more of a movable bracelet. I mean, imagine those just across in a nice, almost cuff style bracelet.
That'd be
They
lovely,
look fab. $14.95. If anybody does make that, I'll happily buy it off you, because that's my kind of jewellery. I love that combination. And the infinity symbol, in jewellery terms, it is used and used and used because it's an obvious seller.
Yes, yeah.
It is. It's a seller. You know, when we have jewellery, when we have jewellery to sell, and it has an infinity symbol or any kind of Celtic symbol of this type of massive. And some of the big designers, you know, will bring you their new range, but they will continuously remain with the infinity symbol. They'll never move it because it's a money maker. It's a seller.
Well, yeah, because it's different messages, isn't it? I always think about, I suppose because I do a lot of the wire writing, so I think about when you're giving or people are buying a piece of jewellery, it's often a message, isn't it, really? So, and when you've got that, it's you know, it's everlasting, isn't it? It's
perfect. Yeah. If you do want to join us for $14.95, you've got 80, so that's 20 of each colour, the yellow finish, yellow gold finish, the black finish, the silver finish, and the rose gold finish as well. And I think I'm right in saying if you do start to do your price researching on this type of deal, I think can somebody work out what the price of each one is? 18. I can pretty much say to you, I think from my research, there is nowhere near another place that I know of, and forgive me if you know differently, that I know of that can do 18 pence for this type of charm.
No.
Especially when you consider that you've probably already paid your postage and packaging of $2.95 if you've watched us today, because there's been so many great deals. I'm sure you'll have bought something today. You've paid your postage and packaging, and we're including the box as well. So all of that together, the box itself, crikey, you can go into some, you know, hobby and crafting shops, and you can spend a tenner on just a storage box, let alone then having the findings and the such like. I've got less than 20 chances, and I've got over 20 people placed into basket who haven't checked out. You do need to check out your basket. That's Joanne, that's Alison, Curry, Angela, you all need to check out your baskets. Sarah, Laurie, Margaret, Sandra, check out your baskets. These are all people who, if you want this deal, you'll need to check out sooner rather than later, otherwise you will miss out on that offer. Congratulations to you. Now then, we have seen you working. Ooh. Oh, I know. I knew you were having your eye on the. Every time Claire's looked over, I've seen her eyes just flick down at these tools, and she's like, "Oh, what's she doing there with dinner? What you doing?
You got? Yeah.
What you doing?" Right. Oh yeah. Tools, glorious tools. Just had to sing that. Tools, glorious tools is the name of this bundle. It's a combination of your flush cutter pliers. Now, it does not matter how many times I watch from home. Every single jewellery maker that I know, any of our designers, raves some more about these flush cutter pliers. Why?
I think I always think of it that it revolutionises your jewellery making, because to go from the standard just snips that we do, the cutters, you get like it's just not a clean flush finish. So when you start using those, you get neater results, quicker results. You don't have to put as much physical energy to cut the wire. Everything about them, they're brilliant.
I don't know any jewellery maker or jewellery designer who has these flush cutter pliers who don't rave about this tool. I mean, you've got to get it home and see for yourself. you've got not only have you got those pliers, you've also got a combination of your bent nose pliers. Let me show you those from a profile so you can see what we mean by bent nose. You see there? So you can get really into your to the craftsmanship of getting that extra detail. Probably quite good for your wire work, actually.
Yeah, because like you say, you're having to put because the tool is actually bent in the position that you want it to be in, so you don't have to do as much work.
Because you don't have to bend your hand as much.
Yeah. So it means, you know, if you're doing a lot of wire work, you can sort of, if you're not don't hold things properly and comfortably, or if they're poor quality tools, you can really start to get an ache in your shoulders. Yeah, so yeah, brilliant. Really, really good.
Plus on top of that, you've got your Comfort Grip flat nose pliers as well. And we've seen Claire work already with her flat nose pliers several times today. Now, Leanne's just said you would pay more for just the flush cutters, but we don't know the price yet. Web buyers do. And then, oh, blue handles, says Leanne. Yes, it's 3 shades of blue handles, and therefore, for those of you who are wondering what that means, Dion, my producer, and I'm not exaggerating here, she is genuinely obsessed with blue. She's got a blue drink even. I mean, genuinely, she's holding up, she's got her blue drink just there. The girl has issues. Genuinely, the girl has issues. We have got... Oh! Aren't they 20? No,
I thought they were 29.95. Yeah, I don't know how she's done that. Oh dear.
Okay, I'm not being funny here. Genuinely, this has got to sell out. Otherwise, Dion is going to get in so much trouble. Dion is going to be so much trouble. $21.95. You have got to. You've got to sell this out. Dion is saying to you, please help her sell this out because she's going to get into so much trouble. $29.95 for just the flush cutter pliers. You've got to get this deal. Huge congratulations. I've got the flat nose pliers plus the bent nose pliers. An amazing treat, an incredible offer. If you do want to join me and get this deal that is obviously going to hopefully, please can I be absolutely clear, this is a one-off deal. This is a one-off deal. Claire, can you just come and join me?
Yes.
Hello, lovely lady.
Hello.
Right. Because we have had an incredible kyanite.
I know.
Oh, well, I think it is fair to say that this is one of the finest strands that we've ever seen. And I asked Claire if she could create something special for us, and look at what she's done. Nestled.
But you know what? The other wonderful thing about it is the drill hop. So I've got a 1mm wire through there. So they're really, really, not only they're beautiful, but they're really practical as well because they're going to go on. That's on a 1mm wire, and so I've still got the movement on that.
Kyanite rounds, amazing. And we've had such a great morning with so many incredible gemstones. And of course, it's been lovely to have your company to know that you've been watching as well. Thank you.
Oh, no, thank you.